And we should be live. Hello, everybody. There we go. Gotta put that a bit more quiet. That should be just about alright. How is everybody doing? Very spontaneous stream. I didn't think I'd have time to stream today. But I do. And I'm still really in the mood to do some FE10 modding for the Rebalance. I've done a lot of work yesterday on my own time. And I want to continue that work today. Let I'm working, cancel the stream. Oh, okay, well, sorry guys, no stream after all. Callum is working. It's so over. So unequivocally over. Anyways, there is one thing I want to show you guys. We have thought about the characters, and I made this little tier list to show where every character will go. Oh hey, it's Dawnlot. Dawnlot indeed. Hello Yanichu, hello Callum, hello Fog, hello John Steelman. Is that fucking Stalin? Crazy. Anyways, so this is the general structure that I will be going with. Is this still an FE Builder or a different tool? No, this is using a tool called Paragon, which enables you to hack FE9, so Path of Radiance, Radiant Dawn, Awakening, Fates, and Echoes, I think. Hello, Mika. Oh, it's not Stalin? Okay. I just thought, you know, Joseph Stalin, that's literally called, like, Steel Man, or Man of Steel. So, might just be a coincidence then. That's helpful. I've never played Radiant Dawn before. Yes. So, this is how we're gonna change some of the characters. We're, keep in mind, we're gonna add a couple of maps. What a beautiful tool this Paragon is. Been a long time coming. It is really, really nice. So, let's start off in part 1. This is mostly the same. As you can see, there's a handful of new faces, though. Haveti is gonna be a Brigand, or as the class line is now called, Goon. Becomes Brigand, becomes Berserker, and he will be your secondary thief in the Dawn Brigade. Hey, Tiwaz! We're gonna get Toronio is gonna be lower level. He's gonna be an actual unit. Pelias is gonna join as a level 8 Dark Mage. And he will be able to get staves on tier 2 as a unique promotion of sorts, because the other sages only get it on tier 3. Or the other magic users. I run deep with the Gooner. We'll take that opportunity to learn a bit about modding. I have made a couple of streams about my project here, so you can take a look at them if you want to learn anything specific. Then Izuka will be playable. My idea for Izuka was he will start as a tier 2 class, but he will not gain staves. He will be purely offensive, and maybe he'll even just get crit on tier 3 as a summoner. But he has, let's say he gets a character he can summon later on. And my entire idea with him was he still is a boss in part 4, and the only way you can re-recruit him is by having an A support with Pelias and having Pelias deal the final blow to him, similarly to the Shinon recruitment. But he keeps his stats, so yeah, he can recruit a new character. Fiona is now balanced, Tormod. So my original intention was Tormod, Vika, and Muarim. They betray you and they join Ike, and Nyla and Raphael join Joffrey. But I realized that there's already characters here, and I might as well just keep them there instead of shuffling them over. So Tormod, Vika, and Muarim will just stay in the Dawn Brigade. Hello, Yemil. So you'll have a little bit of action with them. You'll get Nyla and Raphael will stay as well. And the way I'll handle this is Nyla will no longer be super OP. She will be much lower level. She will be an actual character. She may still have form shift as like a selling point that makes her unique, but you still need to work together to be quite good. Then we have part 2 of Joffrey's Knights, where I'm gonna expand upon the Joffrey thing and give him a couple more maps. Rename Dawn Brigade to Dawn Brigade, so true. I would betray Micaiah for Ike, absolutely makes sense. Yeah. More for Lagoose rights than Ike itself, but I would turn as well. Yeah, I'll get over why, but one thing I've realized is I wanted to like work everything into the story and rework it a bit, but somebody brought up a very good point, is that, yeah, sure, I can try writing story and trying to implement it into the story, but at the end of the day, I'm just one guy, and I'm very much not a writer. I can, like, write okay dialogue here and there, but not much past that. So I am mainly gonna focus on the gameplay. I am not super gonna consider the story aspect or how much it makes sense or whatever. I just want it to be a good gameplay hack. And if I have some time afterwards and maybe some people help me with the story, then I can write a little bit in there as well. Yeah. Part 2, Tominami, the fucking bishop from FE9, he will now join Braum and Nefany on their joint chapter. Devdan, or no, sorry, this is Danvet. Khalil Largo will be playable as a berserker. Or rather, I think he'll be a brigand since he's tier 2 technically. But you get the point. You'll get Mordecai and Lev stay around since you're gonna have more Joffrey maps. I think I'll stick Har around as well. Nealucci and Liane will stay around. You'll get Pugo as a playable. And Pugo is gonna get the axe of his father, the Pugi. And if you get, or rather, if you get the Pugi axe, you can recruit him. Would just feel so good to have Tormod pummel Izuka, but he might not be locked to Ike's route in part 4, I guess. Yeah, I'm gonna probably unlock a lot of the characters for the part 2 change, so you can just, you know, fiddle them around if you want to more, but we'll see. We have Teshoria. This is the guy you fight on Joffrey's charge, and his entire idea is that he thinks he's fighting for the right cause, and like he's trying to be a hero. But he gets betrayed by Ludwig and he holds out for reinforcements, and my idea was if you are able to spare him somehow, or like bring him to 1 HP, then like maybe, I don't know, Joffrey gets like a mercy spear or something that allows him to reduce him to 1 HP. And if you reduce him to 1 HP, or if you just cease without killing him, either works, then he will realize that Ludwig betrayed him and he will join you. And he will actually not be a swordmaster, he'll be a hero, so Ike's class, but with axes instead of swords. Because I want to bring back the mercenary stat line as well. You plan on changing how Lagoos work? I want to. I want to make them work like they do in FE9, where they just give you a flat bonus. But here's the issue. I've been looking around the main doll file, which is essentially the .exe file, with Ghidra, so trying to disassemble it, essentially, into C code, which is what the program does, but you don't know anything about the variables and anything, so it's very difficult, and I've narrowed it down to a couple of places, but changing them didn't quite seem to have the result. Like, we were able to, or I was able to, well, no, Sal looked at it on his server as well. So we were able to change how the stat bonus gets displayed, but not the actual stat bonus you get. So I'm gonna keep fiddling with it, because ideally I want FE9 style Lagoos. But if I really can't do it, then I'm just gonna have to keep it the same. You also get Darkova. He's like a boss in FE9 who Petrine, like, essentially tries to execute, and I was like, okay, let's just have him flee to, like, here, and then he, I don't know, tries to reconquer his land or something, I don't know. I just wanted to have more characters. You get Heather, you get Elinsha, and Let me think. Wasn't there another character here? Oh, right. And then for part 3, you get Renning, Bastion, and Volk earlier than you do normally. And Volk will be your secondary healer for the Joffrey Knights, with Heather being your first. I'm gonna just give him the Seal skill. I know he's an assassin, but still. I'm pretty sure he could still steal as an assassin, even in Path of Radiance, so... for the Dawn Brigade, you're gonna have Gromel, a bunch of like FE9 bosses. Somebody brought up Almeida, and I kind of like her being playable too, because why not? And Izala will join earlier. And here's gonna be the funny part. So, Danvet will join the Joffrey Knights, and maybe join Ike afterwards, right? Volk being a healer... A thief is what I meant, yes, not a healer. So, the idea was, Danvet ends up joining with either, or maybe he stays in Joffrey's Knights, but maybe he just joins Gryle's mercenaries, while Devdan joins the Dawn Brigade. And on 3-6 and 3-7 respectfully, Ike is gonna tell Danvet, hey, scout out, like do a spying mission on the enemy. And Micaiah tells Devdan the exact same thing. So they switch places, but nobody realizes. Because they just look the same. I'm just gonna say they're like twin brothers or something, I don't know. Yeah. I thought it was funny. It's peak comedy. Yeah, goofy ass plot. I don't care about the plot being a bit goofy. That is hilarious, yes. And then for the other characters, this is Gromel. This is the guy who says eat rock and has a bolt axe. So the way you recruit him is you have the chapter with the canyon. And in that chapter, you can throw rocks around, right? And the way to recruit him is to throw a rock at him, or like let a boulder roll onto him. After which he will fly towards like either Peleus or Micaiah, and he'll be like, who the fuck are you? Why the fuck are you throwing rocks at me? And he's like, oh fuck, that's the King of Dane. Oh shit. Oh, okay, I'm just gonna join you. So, the way to recruit him is to throw a rock at him. Eat rock. And there's a couple of custom promotions, or custom classes for these. Tominami will be like a war monk. I think, who else did I have here? Toshori, I said, will be an axe hero. Yeah. He can promote into a Malignite, but he doesn't get lances. Does it recruit him if it's a green unit that throws the rock? Yes. Yes. I think I'm just gonna do that. I kind of like the idea. Peak Fire Emblem. Yeah. Then you have Goran. This is like one of the bosses in FE10 that you fight on the bridge as Ike. Maybe I'll make it like him like a crossbow warrior. I'm not quite sure what I do with him. This is Kotaf. He's also a boss in FE9. His whole shtick is that, you know, the halberdiers, they use their Japanese names, so they're called Lancers. And they exclusively use lances, but he will be an actual halberdier, so he starts with spears, or lances and axes, and he promotes into a Master of Arms. So he gets swords, lances, axes, and knives. You have Makoya, he will be your Mage Knight. So swords and I think fire magic. Danomil is just a knight right now, but I'm not quite sure what I'll do with him. Almeida will be a sage. This is Mirage, I think. He is usually a wind sage, but I think I'll just make him a thunder sage. He joined you after realizing that the rock ate on your side? Yes. A bunch of useful veterans to expand the roster and silly moments. That's very Kaga-like. Yes. Hello, a lot of Dawn. How's the hack roaming going? Going alright. I'm just going over the character changes I want to implement. I've already talked about Devdan and Danvet. Naizala, I want to join the player early. Maybe in 3E already. This is some other boss that I don't remember, and this guy as well, I don't quite remember much about. I might have to read it up again. And then, okay, so you will get Kesda, and there's two ways to get Kesda. either you do nothing, and he just joins the Grail mercenaries as an additional recruit. Because remember, Lef and Mordecai stay with Joffrey, so you will have Lyre and Kiza as your like main like beast lagoos. So having a third one is not that like overshadowing. But if you manage to defeat him in 3-6, Izuka will feed him the feral drug, and whenever you field Izuka, he essentially summons Kezda as a free summon. Which will maybe be a bit more interesting than just having like a random Lagoose that, you know, you could use. Muarim is like one of the few Lagoos you actually get on the Dawn Brigade. But, you know, I thought it'd be more interesting than just putting him here where he probably will be outclassed by the others. And then Kotaf, I made him like Raphael's Guardian. So I guess he stays with Tornio. Lyra as a main Lagoose would seem like a big problem if I didn't know she's gonna be buffed. Yes. Lyra will also be the secondary thief of... Yeah, Ike will get 2 thieves. Every party every party gets 2 thieves. For Ike it's gonna be Lyre and Anna, who is gonna be a thief as well, or a rogue. So everybody gets 2 thieves, so you have a backup thief if you really want to. Yeah, Homasa is like a swordmaster, not quite sure where I'll put him. And I just realized I skipped over a couple units here. Jarrett will be playable too. The way you will get him is in the supply burning chapter with Ike. He will be a prisoner and he will fight his way out. And then Ike will be like, oh, you fought well. Like, and Jared is like, I want revenge on the Dawn Brigade, and comes up with some like lies to his thief, makes up some story, and Ike is like, yeah, sure, you can join us. And the running gag will be that Jared constantly like gets very, very close to being discovered as being Jared, you know, the butcher of Dane, you could say. But he always gets away with it. And Ilyana then blackmails him for sweets. Did you scrap Alder being playable? Alder was not on the list, I think, now that you mention it. But Alder is going to be playable, probably in part 4. Is Alder in here? No, I don't see him right now. I think he might legitimately just not be in the list because he's technically not a boss. Missed a lot of hacking streams, but with a roster this big, I guess you're also making the game harder. Oh, absolutely. Harder, more balanced. Everybody will be useful, but like no longer OP. And you're gonna have normal mode EXP gains, so I want the player to be able to use anybody and not just have like, you know, the usual like, oh, I'm gonna use the most OP characters ever. Right, so you can get Jared. Oh, member for 3 months. Fuck. Nice. Anna is no longer the tutorial girl. Yes. You plan on increasing deployment slots as well? At certain points, yes. Since I'm gonna add more enemies, make it harder, probably. And more deployment slots are usually more fun. It depends on the chapter, really. So yeah, you will get Jared. Then the bosses of part 1. So Isaiah, Burton, and Wazekaka, or Wiston. They will join you as like, you know, maybe instead of the Holy Guard, these guys are now the Holy Guard. They somehow made it up there. Or I don't know, maybe they just join you alongside Tanef, you know, when Begnion kind of just like joins up with you. And they'll be more so like filler units. How far along am I so far? So I've done the first draft of part 1. I've done a little bit of work on part 2. But today I changed a lot of things in part 1 since the first draft. So, and I need some testing save files. So I'm gonna today be playing through part 1 and changing things as I go along, where I think it's warranted. Could they potentially function as FE11 style replacement units? Well, they're filler units. They don't have to be replacement units as in like you need your characters to die to get them. It's just you get them, and if you want to use them, you can. But, you know, if not, then that's fine. Is Lyra going to be a goose thief? Yes. Yes, she is. Yes, she is. She's gonna be your secondary thief. And she's gonna be the only one you get, Lagoose Thief. So you'll get these guys. You will also get Septimus. He's internally called Nose in Japan. And the way you get him is just after you defeat him, you know, he's a coward, he just joins up with you. Because he doesn't want to get eaten by the Lagoose. You're gonna get Skirmir earlier as well. He's gonna be playable in the prologue of part 3. Where he's normally, you know, with Ranulf. I think what I'm gonna do for that map is instead of having like a horde of green Lagoos who are essentially just turning the map into a cutscene, your forces will be split in 2, and you'll have to fight through it. She's finally going to be useful. Yeah, I'm gonna, again, buff them so they're not completely useless. Yeah, and Anna is a bit weird because I specifically have set myself the rule no OCs for this hack, or for this reimagining. So I can only take characters that are already in the universe. And Anna is kind of on the fence because she is never a character directly in the game. She is just in the menus. Which means you could argue that she's technically not a character in the world. But I was like, yeah, you know, I'm not sure. Let's just keep her. She gets the Anna pass. Yeah, I mean, she's been a thief, and I wanted to get a thief for 2 thieves for every side. So this was like the best way I could think of adding 2 thieves. Add Ronaldo? No, Saya. Homasa. Yeah, and then in part 4, you can get Ludwig. You get Sanaki, of course, Oliver. I think I'm gonna add Viona, that's like the druid you fight in the supply burning chapter, into part 4. But I honestly don't quite know where. I guess I'll just put him in anywhere for now. You'll still get Stefan. I think I'll also give you Gifka. Because Gifka is strong, but he's not a royal. And then in the tower, you're gonna have to choose. You will only be able to bring 1 royal. Homasa canonically dies in FE9. He probably does, but I don't care. I like more characters. There's a couple of units here, like from the FE9 bosses, which theoretically die. Or you could say they die, but you could also say, hey, maybe he was like close to dying, but was then rescued or something. And of course, like, you could very well make the argument that that's complete bullshit and they probably died with 90%, especially from the circumstances. But I just wanted more playable characters. This is going to be a gameplay hack first and foremost. And I'm going to make a similar hack for FE9 eventually. So I'm going to change the story of FE9 a little bit either as well. So Gerda and Nazir are available since the very beginning of the tower. No, you're gonna get them during the tower arc. You could say FE9 Ike had a Corrin moment. Yeah. So my idea for the tower is I genuinely hate the fact that you get like a gazillion royals. And my idea for the tower, I've mentioned this before last stream I think, is that you bring your strongest units for the tower, and everybody you don't bring will have to fight hordes of enemies outside the tower, essentially protecting the tower from outside forces. And depending on how long you are able to defend, you will maybe get enemy reinforcements on the tower from behind sooner, later, or if you defend for a really long time, not at all. So you are actually encouraged to train everybody a bit. Will you change the deployment slot for endgame? I think not having 8 units forced on you would be nice. I will definitely do that. And one of the things I definitely wanted to do as well is you can only bring 1 royal to the tower. Now, there are going to be some caveats to that, because, well, royals will pretty much just be Tabarn and Kainigus. Oh, I gotta be careful. I gotta be careful how I pronounce that word. I just remembered YouTube doesn't like it. Because, remember, Nyla is gonna be reworked. She's just gonna be like a regular wolf now. She may still get form shift. I haven't quite decided on that. But I feel like she's gonna be so much weaker compared to the other Lagoos at base that if you actually go through the trouble of training her, you should be able to bring her, like, regardless. Sick lot? A little bit. I think I have something in my throat, but I'm not quite sick. Gifka is just as good, if not better, than the Lion King. Yes, but I will change the balance. Keep that in mind. Then Skramir, like, he's not a royal either. You will be able to train him. Nyazala, I'm a bit on the fence. Either I'd have to make Nyazala a bit stronger, so he's just part of the royals. Or, alternatively, I make him a bit weaker, maybe. Or, well, I don't even have to really make him that much weaker. But I can make him join in 3 Endgame, which you will now play as the Dawn Brigade. So you as the Dawn Brigade will have to defend against Ike and probably also Joffrey's army together. So it's going to be a huge battle, and you're going to get Nyazala early, so you can train him up a bit earlier. And if you bother, you know, properly training him, then you can bring him regardless. But you will have to decide, essentially, I'm not quite sure where I'll make the cut, but Tibarn and Mufasa are definitely gonna be one of the choices you have to make. And I am also considering... I'm also considering maybe making Kurtnaga or Enna be exclusive as well, where you have to bring one to the tower and one stays outside. And maybe the same for Gort and Nazir, I'm not quite sure. Yeah, I'm gonna have to call him Mufasa because YouTube thinks that you're saying K N-word. So, YouTube sometimes thinks you're saying that. Not always. It really depends how you pronounce it. But it's not something I want to risk. And it's the same reason why Mang says Mufasa. Or Lion King. Yeah. Callum Ferguson, member for 10 months. 10 months. Song suggestion. Play Work Harder. I'm gonna play Work Harder once we start working. I've always pronounced it as Kane a hiss. Well, there's a G in there though, so that's... it sounds wrong for me to pronounce it, so I think I'm just gonna say Mufasa or Lion King. And then we have a bunch of other characters here that I haven't quite decided, like, where you could put them in somewhere else. Because I'll have a couple of new maps where I'll need bosses for as well. So maybe I can bring back some of the bosses or make some of the bosses be like in 2 chapters or whatever. So I'll just have them in consider. And then there's enemies, like this guy, for example, is the slave trader you fight in FE9. And he has the feral drug from Izuka in FE9 as well. So I think making him a secondary boss on the Izuka map in part 4 would work quite well. And Leviel, I've also thought heavily about, like, maybe I should make him recruitable somehow. If you like have like some convoluted event chain where you can fight him a couple of times throughout the story, and if you do the exact right thing, then you can maybe recruit him at the tower, but it's going to be very difficult. But I came to the conclusion that it would kind of ruin his character arc. His entire character is, he's going to be a Camus, and I don't want to take that away, so he's just going to stay a boss. The other characters, though, they're relatively open. Like, for example, Norris was another one that I was considering, but I haven't really made much about him. Seeker. You could probably add, like, some of the earlier bosses as well, like Zaitan. You probably will defeat him, but technically, you don't have to. Or, like, like, you can probably come up with a couple of characters in here who you can make occur again, like maybe as a boss, or maybe as an additional filler unit, or I don't know. I've just put them in here for now. And these are just the FE9 models for the most part. Other than stuff like, you know, Ashnard. By the way, Ashnard, we're gonna add the Gurgurant, you know, his personal weapon, as a weapon you can get. He's never gonna turn on Zelgius. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. The only thing that I was thinking originally is maybe after Zelgius is defeated, he joins you for, like, the last map. Like, couple maps after that. But I, again, came to the conclusion, he's a Camus, he should just stay a Camus. Somebody also asked, who is this character next to Bryce? I think that's Yune? Or, no, this is Ashera and this is Ashunera? Something like that? I'm not quite sure. Who gets to use the weapon? It's, so... The weapon is technically locked to Ashnard, but that's because you can't get it. The thing is... like, there is no in-lore, like, thing that says, oh, you can only use it if you have this bloodline or whatever. So, I will just make it an SS rank weapon. And if you have SS rank, you can use it, but it's gonna be quite heavy. And I'm not quite sure how I'll do it. I'll probably have it be like a, somewhat of a, maybe not secret, but you'll need to go through some effort to get it. Playable Yune would be sick though. Here's the issue. You have a portrait for Yune in here somewhere, I think. Okay, put it in here. Yeah, here. This is Mikaya with Yune, like, inside her mind or whatever. And this is Ashunera, I think. But you see the issue here is there's Mikaya and there's Yune, but they share the same body, essentially, at the ending part. So you can't really split them up. They have nothing as unit themselves. Yeah, exactly. And also, I realized I have Lucia's FE9 portrait in there. Yeah, and I think that's pretty much it for the characters. So somebody asked for Work Harder. Work Harder, Lisa the Painful. You're gonna get it. You're extended. There you go. Are you happy now, Callum? Women are cringe, don't add them. Just had to replace that great tune with Work Harder. You're gonna have it a little bit, and then we're gonna give it away. Please make Homasa the strongest character so he can get Gurgurant, Gugagagant. So true. So, let me take a look at my notes. Here, Rebalance. There's a couple of things. Yeah, here. I was working on chapter 103, which is the one where you get Laura. What a wallpaper. Yeah, everybody always comments on my wallpaper. I think this is genuinely be phenomenal. Will Gurgurant be SS rank or is it a Peleus PRF? I was thinking about it being a Peleus PRF, but spoilers for Radiant Dawn. Peleus is actually just some random orphan. He is not connected to Ashnard at all. He just thinks he is because Izuka kind of tricks everybody into thinking he is. Soren is. It would technically, if you make it a bloodline thing, be a Soren PRF, but that just doesn't fit Soren at all. So I will just say, and I think it's going to be more interesting if I just say, okay, just make it as S tier. Anybody can use it, but it is very strong. Soren Secret Swordmaster. Postmodern desktop screen page. This is for those unfamiliar. This is from the SMT Nocturnal stream. And this was our team for that. We had Christian, Alex Yeek, Pol Pot, and Woman. And then this is from like a running gag, where Hanako said I can't change my wallpaper on Linux. And I don't know, I think it adds to the image. It honestly, like, I open my computer, I look at this, and I think, like, this is peak. This is peak. Anyways, so we're gonna open up the map. With hard and common. How this is structured is you have common for cutscenes, normal for easy mode, and hard for normal and hard mode. It sounds confusing, but this is normal is easy mode in Japan, and hard is normal mode in Japan. So there's a couple of things that I wanted to change. I'm gonna remove these guys. One of the issues I had was you do have reinforcements on this map, but they feel like they're just not numerous enough. I would give anything for Homasa Stefan and for playable Homasa. Homasa is the best character in Smellies. What do you even mean by Homasa Stefan? Like, okay, maybe they're gonna be like dueling in the desert. I could do that. It's hard to focus on this very important info when I have this music playing plus Chris Chan staring into my soul. It's gonna be over soon. It's tasteful brain rot. Yeah, sure. So, yeah, this is gonna be what I will do. Let me put this up on my second screen. I also wanted to make Mikaya able to arrive instead of just Laura. Because if I do it like that, I can have Laura be like, oh, I am defeated, I must retreat. Hello, Max. Which makes the game more Iron Man friendly. If you can also cease with Mikaya. Here, I think this is the event. And I'm just gonna make another one. And just give it PID Mikaya. And I think this should just work. In theory. Because once, like, this is one flag still. But it doesn't really matter which one of them does it, because the flag will be completed and the chapter will be done. What point are you at right now? So, I've done the first draft of part 1. I've done a little bit of part 2. But I want to look through part 1 again, because I changed quite a few things. And, you know, make some more adjustments to stuff. And I need to get some testing safe, so I'm going to do a little bit of testing. Okay, so we have that. We've added Mikaya as able to arrive. And we also need to look for GF game over. And remove it from Laura. Because this makes her no longer a game over. And now only Mikaya is still a game over, which again, more Iron Man friendly. And better for this, I think. Can we have playable? Is it the Dawn Brigade soldier? Well, he fucking dies and he's generic, so no, sorry. I hope you enjoyed that work harder, because you're not gonna get it anymore. For a bit. Set GF complete, if only it was this easy to find one IRL. Yeah, you know, if you can't set GF complete in your real life, maybe you should consider GF game over. No, I'm joking. But yeah. So this is the scripting things that we're gonna change. Let me take a look. See, I can remove that from my notes. Then, if you take a look, there is a chest right here. This chest gives you an energy drop. But there is one issue I have with this map. The way this map is structured, and I'm not quite sure if I can even restructure this somehow, is you spend a shitload of time just going after the chests, and it slows the chapter down. These ones are not that big of a deal. Like, you can get these reasonably fast, especially if you send 2 units here. But this one just makes everything take longer. So my idea was, I'm gonna keep this chest open.
Thank you.
Ooh, donation. Oh, I don't even have the donation enabled on this screen. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm gonna look at Ko-Fi. It didn't show up on the screen. I'm sorry, brother. Callum. Hold on, how can I click on this? Feed. Wait, I think... I need to log in. Set GF kiss. Brother. 50 bucks from Callum! I worked so hard. Thank you. Thank you, Callum. Thank you. Feedway? What? What are you talking about? Yeah, Callum. Thank you, man. You're really helping me out here. What do you mean, what the yo? What are you talking about, bro? Take your meds. Anyway, thank you, Callum. That really helps me out. Especially this month. Yeah. Let's go back. Sorry. My idea for this was, I'm gonna have him open the chest, maybe on turn 2, and he's gonna take the energy drop, and if you don't defeat him fast enough, he's gonna eat it in front of you. Greedy streamer man gets distracted by money and forgets how to code, so true. Yeah, so if you don't beat him up quickly, he will literally eat the energy drop in front of you. Because the reason I'm doing this is, it makes the chapter quicker, because you don't have to open the chest anymore. And he normally has a vulnerary that you can steal, but this makes the chapter even slower. So I'm gonna remove his vulnerary. I'm probably just gonna give it to some other characters, so if you want to, you can steal it. Or maybe I'll just make it a droppable. Yeah, he's gonna eat the energy drop. I'm gonna have to go through some, like, extra heaps to... because I can't really make him eat the energy drop directly, and I cannot directly change his stats as far as I know. But what I can do is, after he eats the energy drop, he gets a locked item that's like energy drop effect or something. And with that, you can't steal that item, so it's essentially, for all intents and purposes, just an effect as if he ate them. And it's gonna speed up the chapter. So, and the vulnerary... I think I'll just remove the vulnerary, honestly. I think I'll just remove it. I spend enough money on download for it to be unhealthy, but it's an investment for peak FE. Dude, Callum, I am thankful for every dollar you spend. What would a download challenge mode look like? I do a lot more cruel things and a lot more creative things. I don't know if you guys remember FE10 Chaos mode that Clockinator made. Like, I think it's around 10 years ago, back when Clock still knew what balance was. Somewhat. That one was actually a little bit unbalanced, but somewhat fun. And I would probably do something a little bit akin to that, but a bit more balanced. That would be my challenge mode. So a lot of extravagant ideas. I would use the scripting to my best abilities and come up with a lot of fun concepts. So, yeah. Yeah. So, now, I do have to think. I'm not sure if I can give Zaitan the energy drop and make it droppable. Download mode, minus 25 hit for everyone to emulate the Binding Blade experience, so based. Download challenge mode would get rid of numbers on the screen, feel the stats, true. Download mode, turn game into an iron emblem, so fucking true. You also have a thief now, which makes you need to speed up a bit. Let me make a PH impression. You should add a ballista in the boss room. I can't add ballistas on the map, unfortunately, because the models aren't there. We would need model editing for that, I'm pretty sure. Or map editing, because I'm not quite sure how connected they are. Right, so let's take a look at the scripting again. Put that one outside. The numbers, Mason. What do the numbers mean? Me when I hex edit. I have to take a look at the chests. I think these are the chests. Let me put that in a translator. Just about alright. Oh, yeah, that's myself. Thank you, Download. I can also close that tab. Translate. Oh yeah, no, that's not simplified Chinese. That should be Japanese. Treasure chest. Yeah, so these are the treasure chests. This is the energy drop. Yeah. So what we would essentially need to do... So ballista models are directly on the map. They're not an entity edit. Yes, they are directly added onto the map as a model. So you cannot just place them anywhere. You can at best change what ballista it is. Or like, if you can't outright change the models, as far as we know right now. I fiddled around a little bit with map editing by like looking at the hex code, and yesterday I got a set of notes in regards to map editing as well, that mostly were just the things I found out. But there's a couple of things in there I didn't know, so I'm gonna give that another go at some other time. How difficult or impossible would it be to add new music? It's actually rather simple. Vicious Sal has made a tutorial for it. Although I do have to say, last time I tried to do it, it didn't work for me. So it's definitely doable. I just have to take another look at how to do it. Maybe I could add a little bit of new music in. Maybe I could add some Path of Radiance music in. Though I think a lot of that is already in Radiant Dawn and even like remastered. I'm not quite sure. It's not a high priority at all. Maybe like a handful of sound effects here and there could be nice, or... Yeah, I could also just change what background music you use. Is the file type MP3, BRSTM, or something else? It is a common Wii format. I think it might be BRSTM. It is definitely changeable, but it is compressed some way. First Radiant Dawn map theme plays for only 2 maps in the whole game. Yeah, like we could change that a little bit. And keep in mind, I'm gonna add a couple new maps, entirely new maps, based on the cutscene maps. And maybe FE9 maps if I can get those to work. And I'll still need music for those as well, so we'll see. But what I'm gonna do, and I'm not quite sure how I'll do this actually. I'll need to take a look at, because somebody said like, oh, me looking at a wall of code. Yeah, Zap said that. I can somewhat understand most written code, but I have difficulties writing it. Like, I understand what this does. Like, if we just go through this as an example, callback. So it calls for the event. And it calls on, play an event on the turn 1, 1, 1. I'm not quite sure what the third one is, but the second one is which phase. So turn 1, I think player phase? No, 0 is player phase. Ally phase, I think is what this is. This is a debug event, but... And this essentially just says, if the event key is red, and the event key is something that is used with the debug menu that we haven't unlocked yet, or haven't found a way to access yet, but if you have access to it, and you press the button, then it auto-completes the chapter. This piece of code is actually in every chapter of the game. So I can read it, but like it's difficult to write. So I guess what I would have to do is if we go back here, we'll do a callback. I'm not quite sure what suffix and unknown do in this context. Callum, I cannot add that. I do not want to add that. I can... okay, so... we gotta remove this part. But on turn 2... I think 2 is enemy phase. It's funny they didn't remove that debug code for the final version. Well, why would they? Why would they? Nobody would ever have access to the debug menu. We still haven't, like, we found stuff that indicates debug menus, but we have not found the code you have to change, or the debug, the hex data you have to change to enable debug mode. That is the issue. Which debug mode would be great. But okay, so on turn 2, can I even... How would I do this? I guess T box open. That's treasure box open. So the treasure box opens. Can I just input the coordinates here? 20... no. No, that doesn't work. I guess that has to be empty. As a developer, I'd remove it still, avoid some edge cases you might have missed, but being rushed is also a thing. Yes. Suffix is a group of letters added at the end of a word. Yes, I know what a suffix is, but I don't know what a suffix is in this context. That is my issue. They might have access with cheat code devices. We don't. It's quite difficult to enable it. Ask Sal. I probably will have to. Here's the funny bit. Me and Peterino both work on the CMU, right? And I love hex editing. I can do like hours upon hours of hex editing, which is literally just number codes. Numbers over and over and over again. And I'm totally fine with it. But I genuinely hate writing C code, because this is much more difficult for me to understand than the logic behind hex code, or even stuff like assembly sometimes. Which may sound crazy to some, but I don't know. I just like to think from stuff from the bottom, from the core, and I don't understand C code yet. So, yeah, and Pat is the exact opposite. He hates hex editing, but, well, I don't know if he loves coding like this, like in C, but he can do it really well. So it's like an unofficial handshake where I'm like, okay, I'll do the hex editing, you'll do the C. You'll cover the sea, I'll cover the sky. So it works very, very well. Yeah, I have no clue, because, see, in this event poke thing, it specifically calls for a location and a flag. But how can I guess maybe I'll need to do an if statement here? If... let me see how they do it here. If turn is 2 is essentially what I would look at. Hold on, I can take a look at the reinforcement events. Oh no, that's just an event. That's event turn. Event turn after... like, I am completely completely at a loss how to do this thing, honestly. Do you have access to any sort of debug console with error messages or something like that? Nope, I do not. It's more so I would just need to look through the code. I think I'm just gonna leave it for now and maybe ask in the server later. Yeah. Because I'd probably have to do something like this? Maybe? Again, I'm really not sure. I don't have any proper education in coding. Yeah, no, this... I think I'm just gonna remove this. Or, like, set it back to the way it was. And I'm just gonna ask about it later. So you're basically doing this blind, that's pretty impressive. Yeah, I don't have any coding education. I did not have any education in regards to like hex editing. Anything I know is either self-taught or I know from the documentation, from Sal, from the other people on the server, from Petarino. So I'm just learning as I go. You really don't start actually playing the hack until I come back, or I'll find where you live and send you a very polite but stern letter and nothing worse. Well, you're out of luck because that's exactly what I was about to do. No, actually I need to adjust the reinforcements first. So, what we need to take a look at is the reinforcements. So, we have... So, from here... That's fine. Don't really gotta change anything about that. We get 2 archers down here, which is honestly fine. I just gotta take a look at when they appear. Let me put this on my second screen. You won't be able to see it, but it should still be fine. They are BMAP Z02. I can actually just show it here a bit. So they appear on turn 8. Turn 8 is very late. I think I'm just going to make this turn 5. I want these guys to appear relatively early, because by the time you reach turn 8, you're... Like, I remember when I did a test run of this, by the time turn 8 happened, I was already all the way at the finishing line. Maybe some soldiers or something coming before those archers. There's enough enemies on the map. And they come from way at the back, so I think that's fine. To make them appear a little bit earlier. Then we have Z03, which is these soldiers, and they appear on turn 10. Which is a pretty long time. Z03. Yeah, we are definitely gonna change that, I think, to turn 6. Or I could just make both of them be turn 5. Can you change add new bonus XP objectives? Yes, I can. So these guys are going to appear a turn later. So we're going to have to like go into defensive mode. And then... Are Z04 not called here? Hold on, that's weird. Let's check for BMAP 0103 underscore Z O. That's self-appearing, that's disappearing, that's that appearing. So these 3 reinforcement batches are just not in the game. They probably disabled these, because they thought the chapter might be a bit too hard. And look, this guy even drops an iron axe that you don't get because they don't spawn. These guys just never spawn. I think I even increased their level already. But I just assumed they would spawn. They just never spawn. Because there's no event that calls for them to spawn. So we're gonna add them back in. Japanese versus US version difference, maybe? As far as I know, it's the same. Self-joins map a bit too hard. It's not too hard. But maybe they thought so. Maybe they thought so. Which does mean that we need some new events. Again, I'm not sure what the prefix and the suffix is and the unknown thing. So I'm pretty much just gonna ignore it and hope that it works. We're gonna make 3 new events here that call for 4, 5, and 6. And let's take a look. So these guys appear here. You're gonna have reinforcements. No, I didn't play it yet. I'm still adjusting the reinforcements. You will have some enemies here, some enemies there on turn 6. Or let's make both of those guys spawn on turn 5. And then these guys can spawn on turn 6, so you have an additional turn. And we have a bunch of reinforcements from here. These are like the reinforcements that tell you to hurry the fuck up. But you'll get a smaller group right here. So I think this smaller group, I will have it like maybe turn 8. Let's do turn 8. And then the last ones are going to be turn 10. So if you're still on the map by turn 10, you're going to have a shitload of reinforcements coming onto you. Coming. And I may need to lower their level as well because I felt like the experience gains were fine. Like you have normal mode experience on top of like higher levels. Donald is fast and he's an armor knight. No way, Meg. No way, Meg. Yeah, let's compile that. Save that up. And we will be doing a bit of testing now. So, let's open that up. Now, you're not gonna have game audio because I play the game at 200%, since it's quicker. Brief overview. Pretty much, like, Micaiah got +2 across the whole board for bases and +4 in HP and a bit better HP growth. It's 80% HP now. Otherwise the same. Eddie got +2 in all stats. Leonardo got +2 in all stats. Nolan got +1 in all stats and a couple, like, I think he got a really good level. Laura starts at level 7 now and has a bit better bases. Because leveling her up to 10 is a chore. And that is pretty much what you need to know. Now, him having +1 to all bases means he effectively has 2 more speed. And if he gets a strength level, that's another point. So he actually doesn't get weighed down by the steel axe at this point for me. So yeah. So I've also changed the positioning up a little bit. So you can now move here, attack with Micaiah. This guy used to have like 30 HP. And I could kill him perfectly with my team right here. But I got some good, like, strength and magic levels on everybody. So just on the off chance that you are not, or did not get good levels, you should still be able to kill this guy. And by killing this guy, you also open yourself up to attack from here if you attack from the bottom. But this also means you can immediately lure him in. You also start with bronze weapons and get iron weapons instead of just starting with iron weapons. And bronze weapons are actually kind of nice for the Dawn Brigade, because sometimes you don't want them to crit, especially in those early chapters. Gets a good level, and then Laura just moves upwards. Zaitan is promoted. He doubles, do some good damage there. You get a kill there. They keep moving forward, Soph is there. So this guy originally used to be here, but I felt like it was a bit too tight. So I moved him back here and just put an enemy in front so he doesn't open this chest. Zaitan is promoted. He is much more tanky, but oh look, he has 0 res. I wonder what this could be a reference to. I wonder what the player could do in that regard. Anyways, we're gonna move Nolan back. Oh yeah, they have their Japanese names, so you have Mickey, Eddie, Noise, and, well, Leonard is his German name, but I thought it would still fit somewhat. Let's put Eddie right here. Let's get a kill for Leonardo. Nice, more strength. He's gonna get his steel bow on this map. So there is that as well. And we can even do sacrifice here. Still gets one shot by Thani? Yes. It does. Is noise related to Noish? Leonardo video when? It's a lot of work to get everything together. I'm not sure. We'll see. You get Soph. He starts out with the card still, which I've improved. It is now an actual crit weapon. And he comes with a bronze knife instead of a, I think, iron dagger is what he gets normally. Which is actually good because you can, or well, I guess the card doesn't entirely kill. But you don't want Soph to kill, really. Until you maybe get him a better dagger. So what you can just do is you can put him right here. And he can kill the thief for you immediately. And by putting him right here, Thief gives some good experience. He immediately gets the bronze dagger, which should also be fine if you want to chip. Soph is completely unchanged so far. I did change guard. I'm not quite sure if it's in the game yet, but guard will be an actually somewhat useful skill now, where it will have 100% activation rate. For those of you that are unfamiliar with guard, the way it works is, and the reason why it's so bad, is it's if you have a support, and if you proc it with, I think, skill percent, or level percent, or HP percent, something like that, something that is not reliable enough, and if your support partner is next to you, and if they would take a fatal hit, so that's 4 if statements, then you can sometimes take the hit instead. In my like 10 years of playing or watching somebody play Radiant Dawn, I have seen this skill proc exactly 1 time during the draft race that me and Mangs did, and some others, PH and I think it was just us 3. So 15, 20, or 25% depending on support rank, plus biorhythm bonus. Yeah, that's what it was. That's what it was. So it is such a bad skill. I'm just gonna make it 100%. You still need the support. You still need to stand adjacent. It still needs to be a fatal hit. But, and of course, yeah, Soph can still die from it if he takes the hit. So, yeah. Mikaya's Japanese name is not Miki. Yes, I've taken some liberties for variants. I think her internal name is Mickey. No, I think her internal name is Mikaya. Mickey's just a nickname. I just thought it'd be more interesting to see Mickey than Mikaya sometimes. It's the same thing as Leonard. He's just called Leonardo in Japan as well, but Leonard is his German name, and I wanted a little bit of variance. So basically, Miracle on support partner. It means that if Mikaya would be fatally hit, or Mikaya is in a spot where she would probably die, you can put Soph next to her, and Soph will take the hit instead. Now, Soph may still die from that, but it will make the skill something you can actually kind of like use, instead of being so ungodly situational that you never want to be in the spot where you have to use it. Leonardo sounds like a dog. Leonard sounds like a lion. What did I miss so far? Let me check. I think this volume might be a little bit too loud. Yeah, let me tone it down just a tad bit. I've basically just been talking about the characters that I want to add. I wanted to make it so that Zaitan, on turn 2, he opens the chest and takes the energy drop into his inventory. And then maybe on like turn, I don't know, or maybe in like turn 4 he opens it, and on turn 8 he eats the energy drop. Now I know I can't make him eat the energy drop directly, but I can put it in his inventory, remove it from his inventory, or like put it in his inventory as a droppable, remove it from his inventory after he quote-unquote eats it, and then give him a locked item that gives him +2 strength that you can't steal. That's like used energy drop or something, or energy drop effector. Like I can kind of work around it. If guard goes off, who retaliates? As I said, I've seen the skill proc once. I have no clue how exactly it works. Absolutely not. Leonardo sounds fancy. Leonard sounds like Leonard. Nerd? Yeah, I don't know. Just a little bit of variety. That was the entire goal. Let's heal up Eddie. Yeah, I think I can defend Mickey here, so I'm gonna get some damage in there, and I think... Ooh. Well, Micaiah can take a hit, actually. So I could just do this. I put myself into a pickle. Some may call me Pickle Rick. Actually, no, this guy can't reach, so we'll just attack with Leonardo. And other than that, we pretty much just do a little bit of testing here to get this chapter done. As you can see, Micaiah is still squishy, but she is actually able to take 1 hit, and that is honestly all she really needs to do. We're gonna send Soph down here to get the chests. Get a wind sword. Can get some more kills here. Oh, Eddie can use the steel sword now. Cool. I think I'm just gonna kill with Mickey though. Mickey Mouse. The nerd sounds like an insult PH would hurl at someone. Zaitan is Satan in Islam. Damn, I didn't know that. That's crazy. That is not just crazy, it is actually haram. Probably. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, Nolan's gonna advance. I'm gonna use the healing herb and heal up Mickey Mouse a bit. His lamp. I don't know. Is it lamp? Now we get this event, and yeah, these guys spawn earlier. Turn 5 is, I think, pretty good. Because they're gonna advance towards you. So you're gonna get, like, a notice like, oh, maybe I should start hurrying a bit. Did I miss anything from the last hour? Well, I mentioned the whole thing with the chest. I mentioned all the characters I want to make playable, which is this entire thing. And I've just talked about all of them. I've thought about the scripting for making the whole energy drop thing work, but I didn't get it to work because I just don't know how to make it work. I'll have to take a look at that some other time. Is that Bloodstained Ost? Yes, it is. It is Gears of Fortune. And other than that, I just wanted to make the chapter a bit more difficult. Never make him playable. Also, you showed your wallpaper and talked about it. Yeah, I guess I did. I guess I did. Maybe I should make these guys have javelins? I don't know. I have to go. Good luck with the stream and the hack. A lot of dawn. Alright, thank you, Zap Plays. Yeah, and the thing with Micaiah having more HP is also that her sacrifice is actually going to be a lot more useful. Yeah, for the energy drop. I'll definitely need some help with that. I've also made Zaitan move. I'm not quite sure if that's a good idea, personally. But we'll see. We'll see. Can at least put Nolan right here. I think I'll just continue moving onwards. Treasure keys, yeah, they move forward. More reinforcements here. Yes, these guys will actually start storming the room there. These guys don't move. Oh, right, this guy doesn't move, this guy doesn't move. Yeah, these are a bit weird. Set AI to stealing AI and then he should grab it. Afterwards, on specified turn, delete item and grant item. Could even be a unique javelin with a +2 strength bonus. Oh, you know what? This is locked to him anyway, so yeah, maybe. Maybe that's the best way to do it. So I'd have to, on a specified turn, I change his AI to stealing AI. And then on another specified turn, I delete the item and grant the unique javelin that gives him +2 strength. That could work. Yeah, let's just... I should have just done this. I think 8 speed... Oh yeah, Nolan should be fine. I was a little bit scared for nothing, it seems. Because nothing ever happens. Yeah, we're gonna move everybody else closer. I also made it so Micaiah can seize. I think it's just a little bit more interesting that way. And because now Laura can die as well without being a game over. Uber Spear's younger, less valuable sibling, the +2 strength javelin. So fucking true, brother. Facts. I'm not quite sure how bunched up this is at this point. But theoretically, you can seize at this point. But if you want to, you can grab a little bit more experience. Let's get the Wind Sword over. Oh, 15 damage. I think Nolan's dead. Yeah, that seems pretty dead. Maybe he gets lucky. Maybe he does really just get lucky. Oh, I think he's gonna get killed by Zaitan. No, he doesn't move. Okay, that's weird. Are there any units you're especially excited to use during your first full playthrough? Well, Jared. The newly added ones, pretty much. Kesda, I think, could be interesting. Why does he not move? Common Nolan W, so true. Let's take a look at that. If we enable this, so Zaitan, he has the... Oh, what? No move? See, this is the weird part I don't get, right? This guy has the exact same AI, all unit attack 100 and no move. But this guy actually moves and attacks you. It happened in this run, right? But Zaitan has the exact same AI and he does not move. He only attacks in his range. And he had a different AI at first, but like, maybe it's changed in the script? AI is usually SEQ, like sequence, I think. If... unit get by position... Wait, okay, let's take a look at this. You should use Homasa, true. So, the first one is on tile 21 and 13. This is this archer. Define... Anon FN4. What is Anon FN4? Can check his IDs. Yeah, I'm checking through this script right now. So Anon FN4. What the hell is it calling here? Calling the flag, giving the flag certain variables? I'm not sure. 43, 45, 45, 45. Yeah, it changes their AI and sets a flag for it. But under what conditions? Oh, it's probably an area. It's if you enter this area, so that's 2010, so from here until 2313? Is that correct? Then it plays n on fn and gives all of them... Okay, yeah, no, that makes sense. So if you enter this area, it will make these guys activate and attack the nearest unit. But that should include the boss as well. Because it goes to all units attack 100, which he already has, and it also gives nearest unit move, so he should move to the nearest unit. Yeah, it's the whole boss room essentially. And then there's another one for 1912, which is here. And it all... Okay, so it asks, are you in this range, essentially? Are you in this range? Wait, sorry, in this range? Or are you in this tile? And if you are on any of these tiles, change the AI of this unit on 2113. And let's see where the other one was. And on FN4. Or wait, 2113. So it changes that one, but I can't find anything else about that. So registry. Huh. Unless I'm just stupid and something about the AI is not adding up and I'm using like the wrong one, maybe? Because like, by all intents and purposes from what I can see, so this is what says if in this room there is a unit. Oh wait. Oh, wait, no, it checks if the unit that is in position 2113, which is this one right here, is set to all units move and nearest unit move, then the flag is set for the AI change. Oh, and this is another AI change. For 1111, which is I think somewhere around here. For this one. I think which is just if you're in this general area, then these guys' AI will change. It's as follows, okay. Clear me up. Clear me up why it's not working. Give me, yeah, sorry. Is this the one you need? For 21? Callback in area. Do anon FN4. Yes. That is what these do. V1 is the unit's position. Yes, correct. That's what I understood as well. If V1, so if V1 exists. So if there is a unit on that tile. So variable 0 exists if there is a unit on that tile. Okay. And if variable 0 has these... Oh, if a unit exists... Ah, okay. I see it now. So, here it says V0 is there, or is set if a unit exists on those coordinates. And then it continues, if V0 exists, then set the unit's AI to that. Okay. I see. But, still, I guess I can do the same for Zaiton? Oh, sorry, I'll get back to code. If V0 means that it is looking for a unit on that location. If you shove the archer away, there won't be a unit on that location, and you do not get confirmation of 0-1. Yes. Okay, so I got the general gist of it. But, why is Zaiton not moving? Like, why is this guy here moving? Despite having the same AI. But this guy is not moving. Despite the fact they have the same AI and they don't seem to... Like, the AI doesn't seem to change. That's what I don't get. Maybe it's got something to do with the bit flags? Let me check the bit flags. What was CE? Bit flags. Interesting, by the way, that it doesn't discriminate between ally or enemy, so your unit's AI can be changed, but you never see it due to playable units never using their AI. Hold on here, I noted it down here. So... CE just means no stat variance from character. Time for food? Okay. Yeah, I have no clue why he's not moving, but I have the save file now, so I can do some more digging afterwards. I think I just want to do it, like, continue for now. Yeah. Just gonna continue. Is it possible to let playables use AI if you want, isn't it? Yes, but not on all maps, I think. You definitely get access to it later, but I'm not sure if you get access to it immediately. Get the steel bow. 23. Yeah, even Leonardo should be able to pretty much always take a hit. I think I'll just move you back and heal up. I remember it being a thing about FE9 and thinking, why would I do this? Not sure about FE10. I think it was in FE10, actually. Yeah, see, he just doesn't move. What we can do is we can grab the energy drop here. Oh, and I should probably check. Yeah, Micaiah can arrive. So that works perfectly. We'll grab the Thani and I'll grab the energy drop. Just to get Soph's inventory a bit cleaned up. And as you can see, like, even with light, she pretty much just kills him. So if you don't have the Thani, you can still kill him, but you'll face retaliation. If you have the Thani, it'll show off just how strong it really is here. Because she is able to get to a point where she can double him. And that's full level for Micaiah. This Micaiah is pretty speed blessed, I think. Yeah, she takes a hit. This is the thing I wanted to do. Her defense is... well, she got +2 defense. She got +2 everywhere and +4 on HP. But the only other change she has is 80% HP growth instead of like 40%. Because I want the player to actually consider using sacrifice. And I want Micaiah to pretty much always at least take one hit. Doesn't need to take more than that, but I think having your game over condition be, like, one-shottable by most enemies is, like, early on is a bit too much. If it's a bit later on, it's stronger enemies, you know, that's whatever. But at this point, yeah. She's fat in a sense. If you want to view it that way, sure. Slightly push and speed or better cap would feel good as well. She doesn't really need it. She gets +2 speed and that's honestly all she needs. I still don't want her to be super fast. I still don't want her to, like, cap everything. Because these bases are actually quite good for her level. But still. I do have to say, I think I'll just reduce these guys' level by a bit across the board. Because, like, the levels almost feel a little bit too much. You do use Nolan a lot. Maybe it's fine. Yeah, I think I'll just remove this, these enemies appearing. I think that's a little bit too much. Yeah, he's snowballing a bit too hard. I think level 12 might be a bit too much. Then again, I'm fine with people promoting in part 1, so we'll just continue going and see. 17 speed Myrmidon's dead early? Yeah! What was it that I wanted to check? BMAP. Where was it? BMAP 0103 underscore Z. Yeah, here to turn 10 reinforcements. I'm just gonna comment them out. I almost feel like these might be too much as well. Or maybe I should add some promoted reinforce. Oh, guys, what do you think of Jared arriving? Jared running after you. I honestly think that idea sounds pretty funny. If you take too long, Jared comes after you. I don't remember where Jared really is. You get a cutscene with him, but... Kino? Okay. Okay, Sar, I'll do it. I think what I'll do is I'll move this soldier right here. Let's do it. Gelled. I just gotta give him the correct stuff. He's a Lancer. It's good anti-turtle. So in that case, I can keep this. And I do gotta be a bit careful because I think... Wait, where's my... Oh, here's my main menu. Because if I just use Jared right here, then he will count as dead. And I'm not quite sure how that works for, like, continuous chapters, if I can just summon him back in again. And stuff like that. Like, do I need a new character ID for every appearance, including when he becomes a playable? Or could I just say, hey, take away his boss tag via event, or his boss skill via event? And I think this one I should also remove. Make another Gerald. I think I actually want to test it. Just to see how it works. So I'm gonna keep the same one. And I'm gonna make him back into a Lancer for now. Or actually, you probably can remove the boss skill in an event. Yes, I can. The only thing I'm worried about right now is not the boss tag, it's the fact that If he is a boss, let's say he's a boss here and you manage to kill him, right? Then will the game count him as dead? And thus, if you make him appear again, then he will just have like 0 HP and be bugged out or just not appear? That is my question, because I'm pretty sure there are bugs like that in GBA, in FE Builder. And it might work similarly here. I'm really not sure. And I think I'll also actually make him a halberdier. How it is currently... And I still gotta look into this further. But how it is currently is... my idea for him was... He is either a lancer or a halberdier. Halberdiers normally promote into Master of Arms, but look like halberdiers. But he gets a secret promotion where he can promote into Wyvern Lord, if the flag is set correctly. Now, here's the issue with that. There are no branched promotions, as far as I know. And Sal said it's impossible, according to his knowledge. And it might very well be, but I still want to try to see if I can make it work somehow. This is the all functions list where every function in the game is located. And there is probably some way you can figure out what are essentially branched promotions. Hello, Luis. Because what we would need to do is we would need to be able to at least change the class in memory. Like, while it is already here, while the character is not loaded in yet. The other thing I could maybe do with this is... This would be a bit annoying though, is... Maybe I can make it so that the game checks for the character, and if the character is deployed and the, let's say, Wyvern Lord tag is enabled, then it removes him from your inventory and loads in a new group that is the character, but in a different class that is the exact same, but has a different promotion set. That is how I think I might be able to do it. Because then the player will not notice the difference, other than the fact that he's like maybe at the bottom of the player list instead of where he was previously, but I think that's not that big of a deal. I think I can do it with that. Because I know you can silently, quote-unquote, promote. I think that's what Paterino will do with Tormod, Tormod's gang. Or actually, no, I think that was our original intention. But since they just stick around, there's no need for that anymore. Where, when Tormod and his gang come back, you can silently give them a new class that has better bases, to essentially give them a stat boost, a secret stat boost. After which they should become much more usable again. So we're gonna do a similar thing, where we're gonna give him a new class that looks the same, has the exact same stats, but has a different promotion. Unless he is already promoted. Yeah, so all that convoluted thinking just to say I can keep the Halberdier class on him. I think I can use the same PID for him. And I should be fine, but I want to test it anyways. So, oh, and we also need to adjust his stats to be the same here. So he's gonna be a Halberdier 15. Anyways, you've got plenty of time, since if I recall correctly, he joins you really late. He joins you in part 3.3, I think, the supply burning chapter. Which is more than halfway across the game, but part 2 is not super long, though I'll make it a little bit longer, probably. Right, and I think we'll give him a spear that is locked. And I want to show off the fact that he's able to wield axes. So we will give him maybe a steel pole axe L. Yeah. And I hope that should be fine. Yeah, so he comes here. I think you can use steel pole axes as C. Steel pole axe is... oh, that's B rank, actually. You know what? He's level 8. I can just give him B rank. So steel pole axe, and I think is spear... I think it's slender spear. Oh, that doesn't work. Short spear. I can give him a short spear. Yeah. Sure. Sure. Could work if you get a warning like 1 or 2 turns in advance. I'm not gonna add it for now, but that's a good point. I'll note that down for the dialogue. Add sooner reinforcements. Let's do add a warning text for Jarrett appearing on turn 10 in 103. Yeah. I think that works. That should encourage the player to really get a move on. If anything, I probably want to make these guys join closer to him like this, where they'll move at around the same speed, so you can't just like single him out and kill him. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay, that seems good to me. But we're gonna continue the chapter as is. I do want to see if Micaiah seizing works perfectly fine, as I think it will. Let me actually... you could give him a droppable stat booster for those daring enough to kill him, maybe. That encourages people to try to kill him, and I don't want them to. I don't want them to. He's supposed to be the thing that goes... oh, hurry up. And that will just encourage people to not hurry up, but take their time and, like, kill him. What did I want to do? Oh, I wanted to do a save state, right. Let's do... I rarely do save states, not gonna lie. Let's do slot 7. Because I want to check... if Laura dies, how the cutscene plays out. Yeah, she's no longer a game over. That is as it should be. And now Micaiah seizes. Laura's dialogue still plays there. It's just Micaiah running there, though. I would probably need to add Laura... wait. Did she say where is Laura? Hold on. Is this another case where it's like there's unique dialogue for Laura not being there, but in the vanilla game she can't not be there? Let me actually read that. briefly. Laura's missing. Is this just a vanilla dialogue? Oh no, it doesn't change. Okay. I thought they had something like that happening. Oh, by the way, Alder will also be playable. Okay, okay. But that is fine then. I'll just load it again and just finish it with Micaiah. Do the save here. And, yeah, you get Ileana, aka Elise. I think she also just has +2 across the board in stats. Elthunder stats are unchanged, but with the stat buff she gets, and the fact Elthunder is much cheaper, she actually is a useful unit. And with the increased experience gains, you don't feel like wasting experience every time you use her. Oh, and look at this. Look at this, a bowgun that you can get. I wonder who can use that on tier 1 now. I wonder. Right, the rest should be relatively the same. I'll just tell them to halt. Let's maybe move in here. Oh, that just instantly kills. Soph's still too strong. Yeah, that's fine. Can maybe hit with the bronze axe. Yeah, 80%. Gotta go. Alright, see ya, Tiwaz. As you can see, the bowgun is actually somewhat scary here. Keep the iron sword, and Leonardo can stay here too and grab the steel bow. Yeah, I think I'll just leave him here with the bronze knife. How did you change Meg? You will see her very soon. But I did make her good, or usable. Donald, I have an idea. Make an event in which, if you give Ileana gems, she arrives to Ike without them because she bought a lot of food on these and gets +3 con. And her portrait becomes a little bit fatter. No, I don't want to do that. That is a funny idea though. But it would also mean that all the money you sent to Ike will be gone. Which, I'm gonna be honest, I never really liked the metagaming thing of sending stuff to Ike via Ileana, so I may just remove that altogether. That you can send stuff to Ike, because I'll change up I'll change up how that works, and that would ruin the only good thing about her. Well, here's the point. You can easily get her to tier 2 in the Dawn Brigade arc, because she's super useful in part 1. And, like, what was I gonna say? It's super useful, she's super useful in part 1, it's easy to get her to tier 2 with the experience changes. And she actually stays somewhat useful in part 3 when you get her back. Make her a different inventory for switching sides. I may just make her put all her items in the convoy. Or maybe, let me take a look at the character thing. So, Ileana is in part 1 and then joins the Greilmerks. You get to keep Tormod in here, so your mages for the Dawn Brigade will be Micaiah. Laura will get access to light magic. Peleus gets dark magic. Izuka gets dark magic and then fire magic. Tormod gets fire magic. I guess you don't really have a thunder user in here, but I could just make Izuka like use thunder if I really wanted to. And then in Ike's group you have Soren as your wind mage. And Khalil will stay with Joffrey, so yeah, I definitely want Ilyana to move over to Ike so he has an additional magic user. I was considering maybe giving the player an option to just keep her in the Dawn Brigade. And maybe I'll do that eventually, but Ike has way less mages here. I will give Mist the ability to use magic on tier 3, so there is that. And I guess Riz can use magic, but that's not the main thing. These guys, I guess you get him as an additional mage if you really want to. Yeah, I think I'll keep Ilyana as she is. Let me just note down, maybe change it around here. Maybe give the player a choice to keep Ilyana in the BB. Make Chris a Myrmidon? No. Will you give the Grail Merc some extra money to compromise if Ilyana dumps her inventory? Yes, I'll give them a little bit more. I just don't like the balancing of you have to take away from the Dawn Brigade and actively give it to Ike. I don't like that whole thing. So I'd rather just balance the Ike army differently than not force, but heavily encourage the player to put all their valuables on Ilyana and then send Ilyana off. I don't like that from a game design perspective. Make Ilyana not bring her inventory to Ike, but give a warning about it on her join chapter. Should be something with Zehark, like if she has an A support, she stays in the Dawn Brigade. Well, you could argue that they may already have an A support from Path of Radiance, if you really want to. And the way I'm gonna do certain things, like in part 3, my idea was you will be able to have Braum join the Dawn Brigade by virtue of Meg being there and he talks to Meg. And what happens is you get a menu with 3 choices where you can get Braum to the Dawn Brigade, get Meg to the Ike mercenaries, or nothing ever happens. And I was thinking of something similar where you're gonna get the choice of Ilyana staying in the Dawn Brigade, and you could just say, oh, she's close to Zehark, she wants to stay close to Zehark, or she just goes to Ike like normal. There's also non-money stuff that is useful to send over to the Merc, so I don't know if turning it off just because money is solved is a good idea. Well, I can change the items, right? I just don't think it's a good design philosophy to force or heavily encourage the player to give very specific items that they get over to the Grail Mercs, because they know from metagaming that it is going to be very useful or more useful on them. So I'd rather just change what the Grail Mercs get and maybe add a couple more items and a little bit more money than outright like encourage the player to do so. Yes, continue. Yeah, okay. But yeah, here's Ilyana. She starts with B rank as well. I think she might be C rank before that, but it does change one thing slightly, but it's not super important right now. We'll keep Ilyana relatively central here. Yeah, Soph takes... Oh, doesn't it get attacked by the bowgun? But he has it equipped, so he can definitely use it. Yeah, that's kind of scary. But I can kill this guy with the dagger. And then get the bowgun to Leonardo. See, she actually doubles a couple of enemies, and she gets okay experience. 24 is perfectly fine. We'll use the Thani here. Yeah, see, and Leonardo actually does okay damage now. I think I'll just heal up here. Steel Lance. I probably just want to heal up with Eddie as well. Though I think you can honestly just keep the Iron Sword. The Iron Sword. One thing I was also considering is giving Leonardo and Eddie like a very small bond support of maybe 5 points. Which will just mean that if you use them both together, then you can make use of the 5% less crit they receive and 5% crit they give. And since you get bronze weapons early on, or you start with bronze weapons, I think, yeah, we also have a bronze bow here. It would still allow you to not double unless you really wanted to. And I just realized I should not have moved her here, but whatever. As you can see, you still take quite a lot of damage here. You can still very easily die, and I think Eddie is about to die. Nope. That's lucky. Oh, this guy doesn't move, that's why. So yeah, we'll attack right here. And we can immediately grab the bowgun with Leonardo. And as you can see, bowgun pretty nice. This will hopefully keep Leonardo relevant. Because the entire thing with Leonardo, and, you know, Azafure, you know, a Leonardo video is coming. The entire thing that makes Leonardo a good unit is circumstances. So I wanted to add in on that. So his growths are unchanged. His bases are a little bit, because they kind of need it, I feel. But the bowgun is one of those circumstances that you will get earlier on, and that will make him stay pretty relevant, regardless of how much you've used him. Brad? Yeah, this dude is called Brad. I don't recall if I've even changed his... I may have changed his bases as well. I honestly don't recall, but he starts with a horse killer now. Which still weighs him down, but you know, it's just something unique that's not like, oh, he's a soldier. Oh yeah, Bonard, aka Burton, he is also promoted now. He's a Blade Knight. But I've put him back a tile, so he still moves the exact same. Archer Boy is just a very convenient unit. You could say that, yeah. And you still get discipline from him, but he also has it as a skill. So he comes with S rank. I'm not even sure if S rank really gives him anything. Maybe I should give him like a stronger sword now that I think about it, since he does have S rank. Let's see what items we have at our disposal. I think the other swords... Yeah, he can use the Enlil sword. That's 12 more damage. It's a Storm Sword, I think. No, not the Storm Sword. I don't remember what this is called in the base game. But it's the third, windy sword. Enlil sword locked. Tempest sword, yeah. In Japan it's called Enlil sword. I have no clue what Enlil means, but the Seraph Knights, for example, are also called Enlil Knights in Japan. So I assume it has something to do with like Sky Sword or like Heaven's Sword or Heaven's Blade. Gelatine, so true, the Gelatine Sword. So that would give him 32 attack. How much does it weigh? It weighs 15. So it doesn't get weighed down by it exactly. Well, if I want to, I can reduce his strength a little bit. Okay, and I think I'll also make them move closer towards here. Yeah. I can do this. Brat can kill. I'll shove Ileana, and then she can deal some good damage here. And I'm not quite sure if these guys still move or not, or if they move or not. So let me use the opportunity to just heal up Soph. And as you can tell, sacrifice actually kind of useful. Change discipline description. Yeah, I've not really bothered with the descriptions so far. They're not super interesting to me to change immediately. If I get around to it, I get around to it relatively late. I was also considering, just for part 1, and just while she is tier 1, to give Laura a Hidden Paragon skill, which gives her double EXP from staves, essentially. And then when she hits tier 2, she loses it, so because at that point, like, it's fine. Her experience is perfectly fine. But, like, even by increasing her level to 7, she's probably still gonna be lower level than most everybody else. Yeah, like, this dude does 21, I think. 21. I'll just put him here. Mickey OP Kino. Because I think with the Wind Edge, he is... Yeah, he's not very scary. Even, I think, somebody like Brad, who just joined in. Yeah, Brad's hit rate is not super good on this tile, but he can do it. And you can also use the Thani, but she doesn't actually... No, she does one-shot him, huh? Maybe I want to increase his res, so she doesn't one-shot him anymore. I think my Micaiah leveled up very well, but still. 21. 21, sir. Let's try to use the Horse Killer. There we go. Oh, I forgot to steal the Discipline Scroll. Oh, whatever. Hope you make a dev long video and post one day. Yes, my idea was, once I have part 1 and 2 probably, in a spot where I am relatively happy with them, and where I have some of the mechanics I want to have be implemented, I'll make a post and I'll make a, you could say, demo available. So you will be able to get to play this relatively soon. Hopefully. Not like in 5 gazillion years. But you'll know when it will be available. I'll make a post about it. The other thing that I still need to change, I think, is the hidden items. I am not a fan of at all how the game handles hidden items. New Dawn reference. Taking Staff of Taking Ages reference. I'm not a fan how the game handles hidden items. And I think I'll do the same thing as we did for the CMU. Or there's one of two things. Or there's three ways I can really handle them. What the CMU does is it turns all droppable items or all hidden items into coins. And all non-coin items, it spreads around the chapter. So you still get them, you get them more easily, and if you want to stick around for the coins, you can. That's one way to do it. What Sal does in Daybreak, for example, is he adds like an on-map effect that's on the tile, where the tile shines like a little bit, and you can see it because of that. But I don't want to just take that from him. So what I probably will do is either what we did for the CMU, or, and here's the big issue with the hidden items, right? The way they're supposed to work is you walk and you just stumble across them, right? But in practice, this almost never happens. What happens instead is you look up a guide where they are, and after looking up that guide, you stand on that tile for 5 turns in hopes that you will finally get the item. And that is awful game design. So what I could do is, instead of making it like, this tile gives you the coin, I'm gonna say, this tile, until here, gives you the coin. So if you're anywhere close to this radius, you have a chance of getting the coin every single turn you move into it. I could even say include this part of the map for it. Because then it's still a hidden item, but you can actually stumble upon it without having to look up a guide. Which I think would probably be a lot more fun. Because I don't like having to look up guides while playing something. Unless it's like something very specific. Wow, Ileana is almost a bit too strong for this, but if she comes at level 14, let her be strong, I guess. Oh, I can get a kill for Leonardo. See, and Soph is an actual Jagan now. He can prepare kills. Even though I did not change him at all, I just gave him bronze weapons and made these enemies a little bit higher level. I probably should also give the player the ability to give him like a steel dagger with which he can reliably kill. But as you can see, Ileana is super useful. Super idol the show. Yeah, in my opinion, if you're making hidden events, either you make the area big or make it guaranteed on one tile. Pretty much my exact thought process. So we're gonna make the move here. Higher level means XP, which also means faster promotion for Fiona. Fiona is also usable now. Right, so the first reinforcements here appear on turn 7. That almost feels a bit too long as well. Because, like, I'm a relatively fast player in regards to turns, especially if I take my time. But these guys are supposed to be like kind of hot on your tail and not just like mosquitoes that you swat away. So I'll probably change that up just a little bit. And I think I may just give... where is my... Oh, you still have the Draco Shield. I'll just give the Draco Shield to Nolan, because I am absolutely tanking a lot with him. I should have done it earlier, but... oh well. Yeah, I'll just put him right here. Yeah, this guy can theoretically move, but shouldn't. Soph moves here. We heal up Mickey Mouse. And I can even go for Ileana right here. They want to go for her. Music takes a long while to fade out. I've already heard this a bit. Oh, let's do the rant stuff. There we go. Rants, you know, you can say a lot of things about the Rants games, but they have an absolutely banger soundtrack. The fence, nice. Look at this bowgun. Super nice. He will always be able to deal 17 damage here, regardless of how much you've used him. Copyright strike? Why would I get a copyright strike? It's just rants. I've used all of these songs before, and I've never had copyright strikes with any of the songs in this list. So they should be fine. Alisoft Osts are like Falcom for Gooners. What does that even mean? The words, Mason, what do they mean? Wow, you missed. Windsword saves the day. Mickey Mouse! Let's see if you can maybe kill... I think these guys get 26 damage. These guys can pretty much just kill Nolan, I'm pretty sure. Oh wow, and Nolan is more tanky than Soap at this point. I really gotta be careful there. Yeah, I may need to just kill 2 of these guys. But I'm not sure I can even do that. Yeah, I can. Because I can take 2, but I can't take 3. Alisoft... Yeah, I know what Alisoft is. I was talking about Falcom. The name rings a bell, but I don't quite remember what it was. Wasn't it a game company? Video game music in general is usually safe from copyright strikes. Yes. Okay, so as you can see as well, turn 9, you get these guys. Takes way too long. Way too long. Falcon makes Trail in the Sky and East. Oh, the 2 series I've somehow been avoiding like the plague. So, let's take a look at the script for this map and the map itself. Let's remove all of these guys so we only have the reinforcements. Falcon Nihon, Kiseki and East. Yeah, I've recalled hearing the name from them, but I don't know. East is one of those series that I don't care about at all. And Trails in the Sky, I heard it's super good a gazillion times, but I don't know. It just never really caught my attention. I even got like Trails in the Sky on a sale on Steam. But then the opening sequence was so long, and I didn't really feel like reading a gazillion lines of dialogue before actually getting into the game. So, you know, you can call me a zoomer with a low attention span or whatever, but I never liked super long introduction sequences in RPGs. Like lore drops, and you just walk around and talk to people. You can have that. But it shouldn't be the only thing you do for the first half an hour. It's one piece of game, so can't blame you. Falcon Music is peak, can you please turn Arrival Existent next? You already listened to it without even knowing a few Enderon's tracks are from East. Oh, I'm not denying that it probably has an absolutely banger soundtrack. I have a couple of East songs in my stream music playlist myself. But it yaps a bit too much for my taste. Right, we wanted to check. We search for bmap 0104 underscore Z. So on turn 2, spawn Z map, and if you're playing easy mode, it also does a talk event where it shows you how to talk, but this is irrelevant for us. The important bit is on turn 2, Aaron and his gang spawn. That is perfectly fine. We can keep that as is. Then we have group 2, which is this group right here on turn 7. Turn 7 is like so long. I'm gonna make this turn 5. That way these guys should actually be hot on your tail, ideally. And you should have, like, not all that much breathing room. Because, again, I want to make these chapters more difficult. And we can yet again add Jared. Actually, no. Is Jared even here in the story at this point? I'm not sure. I really like trails. Helped me to get over some bad times. Still can't continue. Sen no Kiseki 4. Okay. Fair enough. I mean, I know a lot of people enjoy the series. I just gotta... I think if I properly get into it, I may just enjoy it as well, but I just haven't really been able to so far. So... we changed this to turn... let's just do 6 for now. These games are pretty short by comparison. We enable this, and these are those guys at the bottom there. I think we can make them spawn on turn 8, give the player a little bit of breathing room. Fellas, Jared running after the player again, what do you guys think? Jared! I mean, we've had him in the last chapter, we might as well have a little momentum to keep the player going. Black Knight events? Hell yeah, Jared event. I would change this guy to Geld. We do Halberdier, level 8. I think I did Short Spear and IID Steel Pole Axe. Jared Knight. So fucking true, brother. So fucking true, brother! Right, he runs after the player. Oh, and I gotta put those items on lock. I think the items are automatically locked if they're a boss, if I recall correctly, but still. Yeah, so that'll be Jared. And, could make this guy Alder, maybe? I did add Alder to the game, but you might actually be able to kill Alder. It's just these two. Let's do it regardless. Alder, I gotta check Alder's stats again because I don't quite remember what they were. Let's put this on top. Alder... Yeah, I made him a Blade General. Blade do. And he has Guard and Miracle. And Shade. Oh, you know what I can do? I can just place him next to Jarrett. I can give him an AI, I think. That keeps him right next to Jarrett at all times. So to kill Jarrett, you need to kill Alder. Because Alder will always save him from fatal hits. But Alder also has Miracle, so if they're together, they're like really strong. Yeah, I like that. I just gotta figure out how to do that AI thing. Think I can, there's some that I can like use for that. I'm old. I'm old! I just gotta remember what items I gave him. I think he was a boss on this map. Here, Alder. Storm Sword and Armor Killer. Okay. Here. Storm Sword and IID Armor Killer. Not Armor Skiller, Armor Killer. Berwick Saga! Can we get much higher? So high. Yeah, as you can see, Alder's entire shtick is that he's an armor knight, but he's not really armoring that well. He's just incredibly fucking lucky. So, he's not protected by his armor. He's protected by the fact that he is Alder. Need to play Berwick? You do. You do. Berwick is really, really good. Actual peak. It's up top, let's turn it off. So yeah, I could play this chapter again, but I have the save file now. I mean, that's how early game promoted bosses should work. What do you mean? Should work? Eddie. So I think I'm just gonna seize now, or like direct them towards this. I may just remove Kurt and Larabelle here. I'm not 100% a fan of you having to like escort them out. It just feels a little bit tedious. You get bonus XP from it, sure, but like, is there anything that, you know, this really adds to the chapter? Nerfed stats? No, 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 that's how he's gonna be as a playable too. Or, well, I'll probably increase his level a bit as a playable, but, immersion, I suppose. Yeah. Though maybe I could just make them blue, but that might just give the player too much, here. Okay, guys, remind me, what do the merchants do over the course of the game? I know in part 1 they're part of the Dawn Brigade. I think after that they just join Ike, right? So I was thinking like maybe I could make them into playables, but I'm not sure. Blue with no weapons? Yeah, you're right. I don't know, I just always thought it felt a little bit weird to, or like annoying rather, to tell them to move somewhere. And I think I'm probably not the only one on that. Soy sauce? No. No, sire. It's supposed to be a bit of friction. I guess. Brad, getting doubled. Oh no. What do you guys think of the difficulty so far? Too easy, too hard? Just right? Leonardo! Okay, I can't hit her anyways. Because I'm still a little bit... Seems slightly easy. Seems better, especially with the reinforcement fix. Maybe. I mean, again, this is the first draft. It takes a lot to get this correct. To get it to feel just right. Maybe I should just keep the stats of Leonardo and Eddie lower, after all. I mean, Nolan seems very busted. I think I may just... Still early game, so easy isn't bad. Yeah, Nolan almost seems like he's too strong. He is level 14, so he did get a lot of levels, and he will promote soon, but... Yeah. Nolan needs speed down. Well, speed is the thing that Nolan always did pretty well. Speed is the one growth that Nolan is really good in. Oh my god. Nolan is so strong. Nolan so strong. I mean, Nolan is a really good unit to be fair, but still. Like, these guys arrive on turn 12, like, come on, bro. So yeah, I'm not entirely happy with this chapter yet. We did some changes, but... I just want to move onwards and see... Show off the next chapters a bit and see how that goes. Because there's a couple I really wanted to test, and I just want to make a testing save file thing. Where I can quickly just, like, take a look at the chapters. Right, this is the first time you get the convoy. And I don't think there's anything really special you can buy here. I'll have to check. I don't think I changed that too much. Info... Oh, I can show off Meg. A lot of people were asking about Meg. So, this is Meg. Her bases are a little bit better, I think. She should no longer be, like, one-rounded in her joining chapter. She can contribute a little bit here and there. The big thing that kind of fixes her is the Bright Blade. It is a pure F. Wedding gift from Meg's father. Cannot crit and give her plus 10 skill. This used to be 100 hit, but I reduced it to 80 but gave it 10 skill, which essentially just means it's pretty much 100 hit, but it gives her more skill activation because she comes with this arm now. So Meg is still Meg. If you don't like Meg, if you don't want to use her, you don't have to. She's not like super good, but she can actually contribute now. She can deal a little bit of chip damage from range. And she has a reasonably good chance to make the enemy disarmed, after which you can steal the item with Soph. Or in this chapter you get another thief you can use. So yeah. As you can see, she's not OP, but she's usable now. Starts at level 3 still, so she has plenty of levels to gain. And I've also fixed her general speed cap. Disarm those Lagoose Claws. It's not super useful on this chapter, but you can definitely get a little bit of chip damage in with her. Now, did I change much here? Oh yeah, you can now use the slim weapons. I've changed them up a little bit too. They might even be a little bit too strong. At least for the price. I may need to up the price a bit. But essentially, they're very, very weak stat-wise, but they give you a lot of crit, and they give you a little bit of speed. Beast Killer, L-Light. As you can see, like, L-Light, actually affordable now. Like, it's no longer just like, oh, this thing is super expensive, I'm never gonna buy it. I'm always gonna buy light tomes, unless I'm swimming in money. It's now like, it does a little bit more damage. It is more expensive, but it's not that much more expensive. So let's get some slim weapons. Oh, we can't even use it. Yeah, there's C rank now. Let's give it to Meg. Oh, she can't use it either. Let's give the Relive to Laura. The other stuff should be fine. Maybe another Hand Spear. Or... he already has one, but we're gonna get somebody else soon who can also use one. And the armor, yeah, I don't think I've changed these around much yet. Bronze Life, let's get a new one for Soph. No one in this army can use speed weapons, dear Naga. They are C rank, so you do need to work a little bit towards them to get them. One thing I've also done, but I'm probably gonna change, or I may have changed already, is I've doubled all the forge bonuses you can get from coins. I get a feeling it's probably too strong. The cost is the same. Yeah, like we could make this, for example. I don't think I have a coin, though. Oh, never mind, I can't afford that. Lol. Yeah, I could do like this one. Sure. I'll just call it the Lance. Yeah, supports... I don't think I could fiddle all that much with the supports. One thing I don't like is that Laura and Aaron can't support. I'll have to take a look if I can maybe adjust the support speed. Because I would want them to get, be able to do C rank immediately. After that chapter. I think I'll just do Eddie Leonardo. It's a pretty good one normally. And then I can just do this one. More hit, more avoid. And, yeah. I'm not sure if I've increased... I don't think I've touched the bonus EXP at all. Broclot, and I don't think I really have... Where the fuck did I get Daunt and Birdbuster from? What? Huh? Why can I assign those skills? I think I may have messed something up for the learning conditions. Can I just... okay, what if I take it off now? Oh! Okay, okay. Take a look at the bottom right. The skill scroll, so to speak, for Birdbuster is the Slim Sword. I'm not sure why. But apparently the Slim Sword... okay, I think I know what the issue is. Apparently the Slim Sword lets you learn these skills. I didn't even know it worked like that. That is actually kind of funny. Okay, I gotta go to skill scrolls, I'm pretty sure. Where is it? Daunt. Yeah, for whatever reason, the unlock item is Delicate Sword. Oh, I think I know why. There is no skill scroll in the vanilla game. No, there is. Okay, no clue why it got changed then. Maybe it's got something to do where I like swapped things around or accidentally changed it or whatever. Bird buster, let's bust some birds. Bird buster. Yeah, okay. That is fixed. Some scripts for command. Okay, I know about that. That should be fine. Yeah. I didn't even know it worked like that, and you even get the sword back. Now, it would be interesting to me, does the sword keep the uses? It probably doesn't. You probably get a new one every time, would be my guess. Let's put that on you. Check if there are any other skills that got swapped like that. It'll be fine for now. I'll notice them during playing. Oh, I haven't added him yet, I think. Oh yeah, these are all goons. Because I changed the word goon to bandit. Or bandit to goon, rather. And as you can see, they also have variable gauges. I think that was always like that, but I don't quite recall. However, this is actually missing one big thing that I thought I had already added, but I guess I didn't. That is a certain character. Right, I wanted to add him to the... Okay, I see what the issue is. So we're doing reinforcements. I originally wanted to add the character as a playable as like an enemy on the map. But then I decided to add a base conversation with him. And I just haven't added the base conversation yet. I think for now, what I'll just do is add a character in here. Now this is a little bit buggy. Whenever I try to do this, it gives me this error message. And it doesn't actually do anything. So I have to get out of the map and go back in, but then it's created. I can do it without the issue on the dispo menu, but for whatever reason, if I do it here, it works like that. You're progressing pretty fast. I'm not going through everything at like 100%. I just want to do like a playthrough, gather the saves, and once I have the saves, I can do some more in-depth changes. Like the Jared change. Like, I could just play the same chapter like 20 times and reset the chapter every time there's a small thing I want to change. But I think I'm going to have a better general vision of how the game works right now. If I just do like a semi-full playthrough of the first part. This also means I need to do all the preps again. That's another reason why I didn't want to do it right now. What was I gonna do? Oh yeah, characters. I already have characters? Where are the characters? There we go. Alvetti. He doesn't have a portrait yet. I guess I can just give him a portrait that looks reasonably similar for now. It's like a random bandit portrait. I will get custom portraits. I have the portrait team on the CMU. They told me that they can probably help me out with a couple of portraits for this. Which would be pretty useful because I cannot draw in this style. And I don't think there's many people who can do. This is that portrait. Come on, I need a random goon. Where are my gooners at? Where are my gooners at? Well, I think we're getting to the gooners. Bosses. Is there no, like... Oh, here, Scoundrel. Yeah, I think... Ooh, I don't think this one is ever used. Is this one ever used in the game? I don't recall it ever seeing this one. Huh? Does anybody of you recognize this character? Scoundrel 2? I don't recall ever seeing them. That's crazy. I think I'm just gonna do a Scoundrel 1 for now. Let's go back here and change it. Yeah. Clock's AI can draw. I haven't, like, the people on the portrait team for the CMU are also the AI people. Smooth and Adaria, and they can do it pretty well. Makes me curious if there's anything else really interesting here. Oh, look, it's Dalaho, aka Devdan. And Bryce even has a portrait as well in the Radiant Dawn style, but it doesn't have talking frames. Largo... Almeida. Look, I can even use this variant of her for her tier 3 promotion. Mystery Man. Is this just Bertram? Yeah, that's just Bertram. They just call him Mystery Man. I get the feeling that he was supposed to arrive sooner. Dark Knight G. This is for some cutscene, I think. Same with this. Mystery Man, my beloved. How do I go? So, hacking true, I guess. Yeah, I gotta take a look though, because I think either I added it to the class. I did not, which means I gotta get the skills up, because Haveti is supposed to have one particular skill, and that is Steal. Stealing is gonna be his personal skill. I think I gotta lock it like that as well. Oh, actually, I think I need to give it to him on the map as well, and then I can lock it here. Ike is so cool. We like Ike! But you know who I like even more? Holmes from the hit game Turing Saga, and Reese from the hit game Berwick Saga. Let's do IID Herb. And then, what would he have? Let's maybe give him, like, IID... Iron... Axe... Maybe IID... and Axe. Holmes is great. Holmes is more Hector than Hector. That's what I always like to say. Haveti... And Haveti is... a goon. I'm gooning! Yeah, I made him start at level 9. I'm a little bit worried he might feel a little bit too similar to Nolan. In fact, these growths might be a little bit too high. I'll reduce his res to like 5%. Ooh, and I gotta take a look at his bases. I gotta calculate them, actually. Because I changed the basis of the Goon, since it has actual promotions now. So let's take a look. With this, he will have 34 HP, 14 strength, 2 magic, 9 skill, 13 speed, 9 luck, 11 defense. That seems wrong. Let's take a look at what his stats were in Path of Radiance. I think it may not have taken in the changes I did for him, because that just seems wrong. Those stats just seem wrong. Here, Haveti. This is gonna be him. And look, he even has like a artwork with Anna, so you know I can have them be. I can probably add like a conversation between these two in part 4. Okay, at difficult. Yeah, this dude is weaker on Maniac mode by like 1 or 2 points than on difficult mode. Peak started playing. True. He has 33 HP. Let's get him to 33. That's fine with me. Strength. I mean, the entire thing with him is... I'm probably... actually, his speed is not that good. I probably should lower his speed. You're gonna get Largo, who's gonna be like the traditional high strength, high speed berserker. I think Havetium may just make like relatively tanky. Let me just take a picture of this. There we go. So I can close that down. Absolute unit indeed. Put that on always on top. So, 10 base strength. Oh, I think what I changed was not their bases, but their growths. That could be what it was. Yeah. So, strength. 10 is probably fine. Let's maybe do 12. Magic. This magic doesn't really matter. It can stay at 0. It's not very magical. Skill. Skill is relatively low for him. Let's just keep the 7 he has there. Speed. 9 speed is... He's supposed to be the slower one, so let's keep it at 9 speed. Actually, 9 speed. Let's give him like 10 maybe. 9 luck. Let's just keep 9 luck. 9 luck seems alright. And defense, let's give him a little bit more defense maybe. 40% is okay. He starts with 5. Yeah, let's keep the 6 actually. With that he has 11 defense. That is okay for his level. Res. He doesn't have any res. And I can keep a little bit of res, but keep his growth low. And then I think I'll make his defense growth 50, but his speed growth will lower to like 35. Skill 25 maybe. So yeah, he'll be a thief. 2% res growth. Sure. And then he can have 2 res as well. There we go. And we'll give him... Let's give him 120 HP growth. So he gets a shitload of HP, shitload of strength. Let's give him 70 strength. And he's gonna be relatively tanky. And he will be able to steal here and there. But actually, if I lower his speed, then he won't be able to steal all that well. But Nolan is already the fast one, and I don't really want to, like, because he's essentially going to be in a similar spot as Nolan. So maybe just change it to at least, like, 10? What is the speed of the Lagoose on this map? 12 speed, 10 speed. Yeah, I don't really like him not being able to steal from these guys. Because he needs like at least 13 speed, but 13 speed makes him quite fast actually. Going to give every kill to this man. That's the intention. What if we just raise his level a bit? Like maybe level 12? And then we say, okay, we give him 10... 10 speed. Maybe 14 strength. No magic. 6 skill. And we'll raise his base speed a bit. He has 10. Let's give him 13. No, this is 12. High base speed and low speed growth. You know what? I like that. Yeah, we'll do this. Then he has 14 speed. And we'll lower his speed growth to 20. And maybe adjust his skill growth to 35. You can still bonus EXP him up to get his speed up. And you should get it relatively easily because he should caps HP, strength, and defense relatively easily. And at that point, his 3 highest stats will be skill, speed, luck. Very unlikely to get magic or res. So he's perfect for bonus EXP if you want to get his speed up that way. Nah, I think that should be good. Nine luck, you can honestly keep the 9 luck. Defense is fine as well for me, I think. Yeah, his res is really low. I think Nolan has... Yeah, Nolan has relatively good res and magic. So there is that. I'm considering maybe lowering Nolan's speed, but what if I lower his strength instead? Let's maybe give him -2 strength. And maybe -2 res. And -2 skill. He should probably still cap these stats, but he will be a bit more balanced. It shouldn't be a huge debuff. I'll just see how it goes next run. Or I guess the levels are already going to be affected now. Nerfing the Dawn Brigade's one good unit. Well, the entire point is he's not supposed to be the one good unit. Everybody's supposed to be rather good. But his entire gimmick is he's a bit higher level, so he's better sooner. Nolan should be able to solo the game. I disagree. Let's get Steel out of there. 12. And I gotta use a different ID. Let's do 90. Yeah, and we can have him start here. Or, Sal, if you're watching, is there a way I can remove the requirement to have more speed to steal something, like an FE6? Because now that I think about it, it doesn't really do that much to change things. So maybe I'll just remove the speed requirement if I can. Okay, that's fine. This is fine. So it comes with an herb. His AI doesn't matter. His position is going to be here. This is also going to be a free deployment slot, I guess. I don't want to take deployment slots away from the player. Yeah. Yet another FE6 victory. So fucking true. Let's take a look at the scripts. Oh, the scripts are here. This is chapter, I think, 105. Yes, 105. So, 105 should have in the script the Meg event here. And see, the thing is, it even checks if unit check ready to base talk by PID. It checks if Micaiah and Soph are, I think, alive? and then it gives you Meg. It loads, it gives you Meg, or it joins the ranks, 2-5. That puts the flag on. But technically, I mean, I haven't changed this conversation. Ideally, I want to make a new base conversation. But... turn 1. Go to L5. Yeah, it requires, from what I can tell... Micaiah and Mickey are maybe not alive. What does check ready to base talk by PID mean? Let's check that out. Unit, check, ready. What was it? Ready to base talk by PID. Yeah, it has all the events in here as well. If this actually checks if they're alive, then I may just remove it. Yeah, it doesn't say anything here. Because I want you to get the unit anyways. Because Soph will be able, like, Soph can, gameplay-wise, he can die, but story-wise, he would just retreat. And, if Soph is considered dead gameplay-wise by the tower, where he can actually die story-wise, then, or, like, be defeated normally, then he will actually die there of his wounds. That was my idea. Okay. But yeah, it should just get you Meg and Havetti there. Let's see if that works. Which does mean I gotta redo the rebalance preps for this chapter. Let's see if it works. Yeah. You get him here. Those spaces seem fine to me. Yeah, you get steel. 14 speed, yeah. 20% though. Should be alright. I mean, if we compare him to Nolan, Nolan has like better speed. Actually better bulk as well, though. That's because of the Draco shield. And being higher level. He should be fine. I love how his portrait gets slightly cut off there. Because it's not intended for this screen. Yeah, so we unfortunately gotta do this shit again. I probably should make a delicate axe as well. Oh, you know what? Delicate axe that gives +3 speed. Sounds really good. Or you know what? I was talking about removing the speed requirement for stealing. If I can somehow make a thief ring, because that is what he comes with in FE9, that makes it so only when he has the thief ring, or only when you wield the thief ring, you ignore the speed requirement for stealing. That would honestly be really good, because then I could focus him more onto being like a tanky goon. Oh wait, what am I buying? Delicate lance. Rad. Delicate sword to Eddie. Banging stream, my dude. Thank you, Arthur. Now, I never really liked the beast killer here that you can buy. It is a really, really good knife. But the issue is just... I feel like you don't really need it. There's rarely a point where I really want Soph to kill something, but I guess I can grab it for here just to have it for testing. Let's check the armory. I think I wanted another knife for him as well. That's like the only thing I can think of. Not even gonna bother with forging here. You get another iron axe here. I guess Nolan can have that. I can't do that either. Okay. Yeah, this should be fine. Let's just get into the chapter. Support. Eddie. Noise. Should give Beast Unaliving Bow to Leo to give Leo more utility. Here's the thing. You're gonna get Beast Foe on this chapter. And what I may just do is increase the Archer capacity to 20. So you can immediately give it to Leo unpromoted if you want to. Let me do that right now. So I don't forget. Archer capacity 20. It's still an upgrade to Sniper capacity-wise, but it's just not doubling it anymore. And with 20, he has the 15 points required for Beast Foe. And he already comes with the bowgun. If anything, I would just wish that maybe you get the Beast Foe skill early? Because then you could use it on this chapter. Because the entire issue is you can't... Oh, deployment slots don't work. Why do they not work? Sar? The entire thing is you get a Beast Foe here, but you don't face any more Beast Lagoos for the remainder of this chapter. Let's just get Brad out, I guess. So I want to show off Haveti and I don't want to do the preps again. Yeah, he just looks like Nolan for now. I haven't adjusted. I should just take his AID away. Let me do that right now. So at least doesn't look like Nolan. Should just look like a goon. Where are the goons? Yeah, they just all look like barbarians. They all have the same animation. In fact, I think I can actually make a save state here, and it should at least change the AID, so it will look a bit different. So let me just save this right here. And I should be able to just load that. I normally don't work that much with save states. Here. No. Maybe if I return to base? No, it doesn't seem to take it into account. Oh well. Oh well. We're just gonna keep going then. Meg there, you there, you there, you there. Okay, fight. So he can hold his own. He can't take 2 hits. I kind of would like him to take 2 hits. I'll have to take a look into the Thief Band idea. If I can implement that, then I may just reduce his speed a bit and up his defense. Meg unarmed small dog. So yeah, she can do 10 damage and she can take a hit here. I've specifically made sure that none of the tigers have 14 speed. And none of the tigers are able to double her. The cats will be able to double her, but she has the bulk to take it. Yeah, let's go. Leonard, bro! He might be a bit too weak, actually. We'll see. We'll do this, put Soph in here with the Bronze Dagger. Max stays there, you stay here in healing range. Okay, he can take 2 rounds of combat from the cats, at least. That's pretty much what he needs to do. Go. Attack there, you can attack a bit here. Eddie. Okay, yeah, I can put him right here and heal him up. In fact, if I put him here... Oh, that's 2 tigers. Yeah, they're gonna destroy him. Regardless how much he is healed. Guess I can do this. And we just pull him back, let him be healed, and Megatron can stay there. Use the bowgun. It doesn't currently have an animation, but I will look into fixing that. It's just not super high on the priority list right now. Oh no, Soph doesn't have a healing item. What the Sigma? Beast Killer, I guess. Okay, Soph dies. He just retreats, as you can see. He even has the retreat AI. Or, like, not AI, but, like, the animation. Though I probably should change his quote. Rip Soph. But yeah, you can just continue playing. Will Peleus be a second run only unit or not? No, you will always get him. I don't like him being, like, the whole second run only. Just, like, let people enjoy things. And in this case, things being Peleus. And as you can tell, like, Ileana, I've not been using her that much, but she's already level 16, so she is able to promote relatively soon. We'll heal Haveti up here. Oh, he can steal, but he would get it anyways. Oh, he got 2 HP! He got 2 HP, let's go! Haveti Gaming. Can I kill 2 of these guys? I think I can. Yeah. Dude, Nolan, what the fuck? So busted. Second run editions and requirements are so obscure. Yeah, they're a little bit not so fun, I would say. I mean, I get why people did them, especially back in the day, but... He is gooning! Grow up, puny little humans. Yeah, I can't steal his stuff, for example. But I can just continuously heal Haveti up. I don't think... Yeah, he doesn't face a crit rate. He is going. And since Meg doesn't get one-rounded anymore, you can safely actually use her. Ooh, Eddie is very close to being one-shot by this guy, though, 25. Totally not saying that about Peleus. I used a 0 clear save instead of a 1 clear save by mistake and can't even use Peleus. Yeah, it's so stupid. It is so stupid. I genuinely hate it. There is one thing I was also considering, but I think it may be a bit too strong. And that is maybe giving bronze swords like a little bit of luck they give you, so you can use them more defensively and they maybe stay relevant for longer. But they're supposed to be like these super cheap swords, so I'm not quite sure if I really want to do that. Delicate weapons are what again? Slim weapons. They're just called delicate weapons in the internal code. So that's what I'm keeping for them. They give you, like, I think 30 or 40 crit and 3 speed, but they have, like, 2 might. So they're very, very weak, but they allow you to crit a lot. And they help you double, or not be doubled. So that should hopefully keep them relevant for quite a while. Though I think they might even still be a little bit too strong. Grarg. Though I like Haveti's performance so far. You know, he gets strength, he gets defense. That's all he really needs to get. I can hold out against the tigers. This is probably a great map for him to be introduced in. With the tanky unit idea. Now this guy seems to have heal AI, so he's just scared shitless. So let's just keep Nolan right here. Is Haveti worth the investment? I mean, the idea behind Haveti was he is first of all gonna be a... Hold on, cheers. He's gonna be a goon, which is the bandits. He just has the wrong animation assigned right now. And he's gonna be your second stealer, your second thief. So Soph is no longer a game over condition, which means that you're intended to let him die if he dies, but you'll still be able to steal with Haveti. He's a goon, end of story. In this household, you know what Haveti is? In this household, he's considered a hero and a goon. We'll do this, and Mickey Mouse can just heal further. Mishka, Mushka, Mickey Mouse. Master Proof. You know, Nolan is actually pretty strong already. I'm gonna give the player more Master Proofs. Maybe let me just promote him. I want to see if early promotions can work out in this. Oh. Okay. Why are you made of cum, Nolan? Oh, I think I broke the animations during testing for this. But I'm pretty sure I know how to fix it. Cum statue, Nolan. So yeah, Nolan right here. Promoted at level 16, still usable stats, as early as this chapter. And though, to be fair, it's either him or Ileana or Haveti that you could realistically use it in. And this hack, he is considered a long-term Soph who's actually pretty good combat-wise. I would call him long-term Soph is wrong. He can steal, but the entire, like, Nolan is super fast. And like very balanced otherwise, and with a little bit of magic. Haveti is going to be like very strength and defense focused, but he's going to have an okay speed, or a good speed base, and an okay skill growth with very little magic. So he will be like your tanky axe fighter. Soph is no longer force deployed. There's barely any force deployed units. Goonlin. Yeah, there's barely any force deployed units, and I'm also removing the Black Knight from part 1. Christmas Axe Bros, Nolan and Haveti. So true. The general story that I wanted to give him was, he's mentioned, Nolan is mentioned as being a trader, or trader, he trades things, while Haveti used to be a pirate, so I was like, okay, maybe they, like, grew up in the same village or whatever, and then, like, Haveti always got him into trouble and always got him out of it as well. So, I don't know, they know each other from that, and then, Soph is like, oh, Micaiah, like... No, not Soph. Nolan is like, hey, Micaiah, I know this guy. I know this guy. He can help us across the desert. And Micaiah is like... No, Soph is like... Soph's like, yeah, okay, sure. And then he fucking introduces Haveti. And Soph is like... This is our guy? This is our guy? Yeah, I'm gonna have to play this chapter again. With the changes. Because I actually need Soph alive, but I wanted to see how it generally feels like. That means the tower is fun now. No more we are forced to deploy units we don't want to use. Yes. Yes. I want the player to get more freedom in who they want to use. That is one of the core fundamental design ideas. Wow, he's been hitting every one of these. And see, even Meg is useful in her chapter. Now she only needs to get useful levels. And then maybe she'll be a good unit. I think this guy... Oh wow, this guy's actually weaker than the generics? What? That doesn't seem right. What did I miss? I went over the last couple of chapters. There is one thing I will need your help with, Sal. I was thinking... I can show it to you in a second. The secondary thief for the Dawn Brigade is gonna be Haveti here, who is a bandit. He's a bandit, but the build idea I wanted for him is a lot of strength and a lot of defense, since Largo is already filling the niche of like the super strong and speedy but glass cannon berserker. But the issue is, he's also intended to be your secondary thief when Soph dies for the Dawn Brigade. So, what I wanted is, as long as he holds the thief band, he doesn't need more speed than the enemy to steal items. It doesn't even have to be him holding it specifically, we can just make a thief band in general that just makes it so you ignore the speed requirement for stealing. And I wasn't quite sure if that can be done, and if it can be done, how it can be done. Because if it can't be done, then I'm gonna have to, like, do a halfway point where he has reasonably okay speed, but is not quite as tanky. Instead of being, like, an actual tank. So, yeah. You gotta tell me if that's possible or not. And the portrait is not finalized either, I just am using placeholders. So I think this is good enough for me for testing for the chapter, so I can apply my other changes. It can't be done as that means you're trying to have a main doll skills function behaving differently on a per speed basis. That's adjusting the code and expanding it. It doesn't even have to be per unit basis. If I can just, like, remove the speed requirement from stealing in general, that would also work for me. It would not be, like, the most ideal thing, because ideally I want it only for Haveti. But, like, the speed requirement for stealing, I don't think it really adds all that much to the game. It just means... The only thing it really means is you're encouraged to maybe train your thieves a bit more, but ideally I want every thief to have a little bit of something going. What you can do is that when he kills an enemy, he can automatically get any of the healing items or so that the enemies hold. Well, I kind of just want him to steal. Plunder, like... Because the idea is every one of the 3 routes. Here. So Dawn Brigade is gonna get Soph and Haveti as thieves. Joffrey is gonna get Heather and... who's the other one? And Volk as thieves. And Ike is gonna get Anna and Lyre as their thieves. Because that way everybody has a bonus thief. I mean, Mug could work, but I'm not sure. But do you think I could probably... It would probably be a main doll thing, but couldn't I just look at the code for stealing, figure out where it asks for the speed requirement and just remove that? It would probably require some fiddling, but theoretically it should work, right? If I just look at it with Ghidra, find the stuff out. Epic tier list. It's the list of when the characters are gonna join and who. You could nop that part of the code if you can find it. Here's the point. I don't know how to do that. I know what nopping is, I just don't know how to do that in the file. Or in Ghidra or wherever. So you'd have to teach me that on the server. Right, the other thing I wanted to check is... I think it needs to be added to normal mode as well, maybe? To be added as a deployment slot. Is that my man Tominami? It is your man Tominami indeed. He's already in here. He doesn't have his portrait in yet, but he is gonna be able to become a war monk. Just because I wanted some unique classes in. Make him a bit different, make him stand out, because like if I don't change it like this, then he will just be a Risk 2. And Risk 2 is kind of boring, and I can't really think of a much better build for him either that would... I guess this one doesn't really suit him all that much either, but it's my hack. It doesn't have to be fully 100% accurate. That's another thing I've decided, like, it's gonna be a gameplay hack first and foremost, and if I can explain something gameplay-wise, or like story-wise that I'm changing, then maybe I'll add it in, but... I'm not gonna worry too much about the story unless I actually get a team of writers that can do it. For now. What did I want to do? Check this, I wanted to add him as a deployment slot. I need to test it again because of Soph. Hire Oof to write for you? Maybe, I'll consider it. I'll actually consider it. Yeah, I don't remember what exactly I wanted to do for this map. I think, let me take a look at the bosses. I think they were actually quite weak. 4C, what is 4C? Okay, I have no clue. That's not one I have noted down. But, oh, I already closed it. Because they seem to have worse stats than the generics, which doesn't really seem right. Seems like they're not getting leveled, maybe. Yeah, that should be level 6. Let's check these stats. The tigers. Yeah, 9 strength. They are definitely not being leveled. Which I think they should be based off of the code. Or off of the fact that they're level 6 here. And level 10 here. Though I maybe have changed this to be a little bit higher level. In any case, they should be a little bit buffed. Let's maybe do something like this. Have the general stats of them in mind still. There we go. 7, that should be 14. Malignite, Lindworm, cool. Lindworm is just the tier 3 from like the Japanese name or the internal name for the promotion of the Dragon Master. Malignite is new. That's what I'm gonna use for Gromel. Skill, strength, defense. Defense was fine, I think. Because that's like, what's 14 defense? Yeah, that's okay. Res 1. And then death. They seem to be relatively close to the same. Though I think I may just end the stream here. I think we have like, what, 3.5 hours? Yeah. We're gonna have a big stream tomorrow over on Mang's channel where we're gonna play the... I already forget what he called it. Darkest Emblem? Fire Dungeon? I'm not quite sure, but the Darkest Dungeon inspired thing. So, if you guys want to see that, make sure to check that out tomorrow at 20 o'clock CET, or whatever the video is for you. And I think I'll be taking my leave here, and taking a bit of a break. But I got a little bit of testing done, a little bit of work done here as well, just like yesterday. And even if it's not super much, I got a little bit closer, so... I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye!